And a very good morning. Welcome to day two of the Irish Winter Championships here at the National Aquatic Centre in Dublin. As you can see, all is in readiness for day two after the excitement of yesterday, and Daniel Whiffen breaking a European record, the first Irish swimmer to do so. Blistering time, just over 2 seconds off the world record set back in 2008 by Grant Hackett. So very exciting day. He's not swimming today. He's actually got the 400 tomorrow, so he actually broke the Irish record as well in that 800 free yesterday, so maybe more to come today. But what a busy program we've got for you this morning. We're going to start with a couple of relays, and then we got many heats of the likes of the 100 backstroke for men and women, and we got some 400 metre individual medleys to come as well, so that'll take us quite deep into the program. And good morning again to the recently retired David Thompson, and from UCD, and India McGlynn is with us as well. What about yesterday, guys? How was, have you slept on what was an amazing performance yesterday from Daniel Whiffen?
Yeah, I was in the hotel last night, was talking to everyone about it. It's the only thing everyone could talk about, and just still not really over it, how fast that was, you know. I think it's the first Irish swimmer to ever have a senior European record. The fact he was so close to that world mark of Grant Hackett is it's terrifying. And I was chatting to him afterwards, and I think he'll do it. You know, he can definitely get that world record mark. You know, he was in the pool on his own, swimming on his own, similar to last week at the Scottish National Championships in the 1500. So as soon as he has a race and he's racing those guys, you know, it's the belief he has. The belief he has is just scary. The belief in himself, and you know, I think his trajectory is perfect leading into Paris in 2024. He's just sort of beginning to peak at the right time.
It was an absolutely fantastic swim from there yesterday, and like we said, it was absolutely the talking point of the swimming world. But the amount of people that contacted me yesterday that are non-swimmers as well, so it really has put Ireland on the map there. So people are really starting to recognise swimming as a real contender, a national sport now, I guess, amongst our other national sports.
In terms of, we've got a message this morning from Martin McGinn, who's done some coaching work with Daniel. He's also promoting the twin brother, Nathan, that perhaps come Paris you might see two Irish men in a final. Not a lot of word about Nathan at the moment. Obviously he's working away in Loughborough University along with Daniel, but a lot of spotlight is on Daniel at the moment though, isn't it?
Absolutely, I think there's quite a lot of spotlight on Daniel there. Like, we've got him coming down to 14:14 in a 1500, which is absolutely incredible swim. But we can't forget that Nathan also broke that 15-minute record when David and I were only chatting about it yesterday. It was only probably in the last decade where we were cheering on Andy Megan of Aer Lingus and really trying to egg him on against an American to break that 15-minute record. So we can't forget about Nathan's record or breaking that 15-minute mark too.
What do you think, David?
Yeah, I think Nathan's a bit of a sleeper. People don't realise how good he actually is and how good he can be. You know, he works just as hard as his brother. He's, you know, to go sub 15 minutes is no joke on a 1500. And I think, you know, if he targets that 800 free really, really well next year, you know, who knows, he could get really close to that Olympic mark.
By the way, if you're with us in half an hour's time, we've got some exciting news for you as well. Exclusive breaking story. I haven't said that for a long time, but we do have one at 10 o'clock, so hang around for that. So this is the first race then for us. This is the mixed 200 metre freestyle relay. These are timed finals. So we've got three clubs in the water. Lane 3, it's Hamilton. Aquatics from Dubai, one of our visiting clubs. Lane 4, it's Limerick. And then Lane 5, it's Templeogue. We'll have 10 clubs in the second of these timed finals coming up very shortly. But it's all about here, David, posting a time.
Yeah, 100%. It's heat declared winner, so it's just getting out there. These two teams are sort of at a disadvantage. They're on their own in the first heat. So, you know, with these mixed relays, usually you send the males out first, and the females go last. So it'll be interesting to see if any other team goes you know, different from that tactic.
Dubai not swimming this one, so we've just got the two teams from Limerick and Templeogue. They swim 2 lengths of the pool each, of the 25-metre pool, short course. Limerick in. They've Dermot Sutton, we've seen Finn McKeever, Leanna Lindane in the water now. She'll hand over to Lucy O'Brien. She's the final one in the water. And then for Templeogue, we've got Andrew Mullen, Robert Mullen, Eva Walsh and Holly McInerney. This is again, as David's been saying, is heat declared winner, so that's 25 metres to swim then for O'Brien from Limerick. In lane number 4, again it's about posting a time and seeing how they get on in the second heat, but generally the first heat of these are the slower of the two. Well, 140.55, Limerick win it, and Temple Oak will finish in second place. Here's your result. So that's the mark set now by the opening heat. Limerick at 140.55 as we move on to the second and final heat. Heat declared winners, mixed relay, fastest of the two heats will take gold, silver and bronze. Cookstown in 0, then New Ross, Dolphin, the local NAC club, Ards and Nova Centurion, one of our visiting clubs. Great to see them here. Sunday as well from Cork, then Splash World Sharks, and out in lane 9 it's Hamilton Aquatics in Dubai. Their B squad didn't swim in the first heat.
Look out for lane 1 here. Evan Bailey's leading off New Ross. He was fantastic in that 100 freestyle last night.
Interesting way to start the session, starting off with the relay. Hopefully it will set the atmosphere for the day. We've got some great swims coming up, so setting that atmosphere from the offset.
We're bookending today with relays as well towards the end of our programme. First split, as New Ross has it, 22.83, closest to us. Good spot, David there. Evan Bailey takes them through in the lead. This could change throughout, of course, because they can vary things up by sending female swimmers in, mix it up with the males. Lane 4, Ards have gone with Grace Davidson. NAC have taken over the lead now from Nova Centurion, then Lauren. Penultimate set of swimmers now in the water.
It's interesting tactics for Ards to go male, female, female, male, because as you can see, there's so much ground to make up now. Sometimes if you do that, you can get caught up in the wash. It's difficult to sort of break through that wash, that the bow wave that the swimmers ahead of you make.
140.55 is the time to beat from the previous heat. It's pretty close between the top 3 here. That's going to be a good rush to the finish here. 140.55 to beat. They're going to be well inside that. It is the second heat. Winning time 138.34 for Larne. Hamilton, our visiting club, also in the sub 140s. Ards in third place.
It was a great swim there, so we had a great start off from New Ross with Evan Bailey going in first, touching in first, but after that from lane 3, the NAC, amazing takeovers from each individual swimmer. They were sticking with the usual tactic of 2 male, 2 female, but yeah, just Lauren pipping out the post there, setting off Danielle Hill on that last 50 metres, absolutely brilliant 50 metre swimmer, so yeah, just taking the win at the end there.
Danielle really hasn't been at the top of her game here so far, but that's a good swim from her, taking her team home. Hamilton in second place and Ards take third. That 140.55 from the previous heat was good enough for about 5th.
Yeah, gold, silver and bronze there in that last heat, so yeah, so Limerick just missing out there.
Things move quickly on here at the National Aquatic Centre. We're on to the first of our individual events now. This is the 100 backstroke for women. We've got 4 heats. Again, seeded and graded heats, starting with heat 1. We've got 3 swimmers in that. All juniors, all under 17. And we get to the faster swimmers then as we progress. The likes of Jenna McDougall from UCD is in the penultimate heat. Danielle Hill, we just saw there in the relay, goes to the final heat in the 100 backstroke, which is her main event.
Absolutely. We had Jenny yesterday, she won the 50 backstroke, so she does seem to be on form today. Obviously, we've still got Danielle in that final heat. She might be a little bit tired after the relay, so it'll be interesting to see what time she's going to go out on this morning. But we've also got Maria Godden there in heat 3 as well, beside Jenna McDougall. She seems to be on form too. So it'll be interesting to see who those top 3 are going to be going into the final this evening.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because Danielle Hill extremely good at managing the heat sessions. You know, she knows exactly how to race and, you know, just do enough to get through to the finals. You know, for a majority of these top level swimmers, it's just all about getting back for the finals tonight, conserving energy, and just getting the job done. Especially, you know, this is a 3-day meet. You know, it's not the sort of longer 5-day meet, so you've got all the events are compressed into 3 days. So, you know, you've got to be really careful, especially if you're swimming multiple events, that you're not taxing yourself too much in the heat. So I'd imagine there in that relay she'd have gone for it to get the win, and now in this backstroke she'll cruise it, work on her skills, make sure they're all on point, and just get through to the final for tonight.
Yeah, they've kind of changed things around for these winter nationals. It's usually a 5-day meet, but they've taken out semi-finals. A lot of these swimmers will get a chance to swim a second race in the evening, so they've whittled it down into C to B to A finals. So a lot of these swimmers are getting a chance to swim a second one in the evening, where generally they get a chance to go faster compared to their morning swims. This is heat 1, lane 3. Shomer Brady, para swimmer, goes in lane number 3 for Lisburn. Naroa Saints of Athlone, the 15-year-old, in 4. And Antonio Sech of Sunday's Well Swimming Club in lane number 5. 4 lengths of the pool, opening heat of the women's 100 back.
So with short course back roll, what you're going to see is those that can really work on that underwater turn and really focus on trying to get to the 15-metre mark. You're going to see that they're going to progress probably most likely into the final. So back roll is a very technical stroke. Like David was talking about yesterday, it is about that head position, keeping your head as still as possible, staying nice and high in the water as well, and then just allowing that rotation to come in from the shoulders.
Yeah, it's all, just like India said there, it's all about the underwaters. You know, I've known swimmers that have been comparative from short course to long course on the 100 back, you know, sometimes 3.5 seconds faster short course than they are long course, but just because they're so good and dialed in at the underwater. So as you see these heats progress, you know, look out for the swimmers that are holding that underwater and holding that speed, because you are more streamlined under the water.
That's a good race to start. Saints just takes it, 107.05, 107.22 for the swimmer alongside her, Antonio Sech. We're just waiting now for our para swimmer, Shomer Brady, to finish this opening heat of 4 for the 100 backstroke. It was a good start to proceedings there. It was a good race between the two of them.
Interesting start there actually from the two swimmers. We had a 100th of a second PB, and then we had an equal PB, so it's not likely, or not every day you see something like that in a heat.
Take the small wins, take the small wins.
Absolutely.
Can't all be like Daniel Whiffen, 15 seconds off. Only 4 heats here, so we'll begin to get a lot of these girls will be looking to make it back tonight, so see a step up now in the times.
Yeah, definitely. Their early swimmers entered in times of 106, 105s. When you get down to the faster heats, Danielle Hill, who we saw already in that relay, Irish record holder, is entered on a 59 point. So quite a difference, remarkable difference in time. So, but take the victories as they come, David.
Yeah. I'm sure now with backstroke they have the wedges. So on the starting, if you look at their feet, you know, beforehand they didn't have those. So now, and there was always a chance of slipping. So now with those wedges in place, the swimmers can adjust exactly how high up they want the wedge, how high up they want their feet, and that just takes away the anxiety of potentially slipping. I wasn't a backstroker, India. I know you weren't either. So, but I've known a lot of swimmers that did used to slip off the wall. So great addition to the sport.
Yeah, I wasn't a backstroker. Unfortunately, I lost my concentration as soon as I turned onto my back. So definitely stuck with the forward motion strokes.
All quite close together here. You know, swimmers staying under, you know, 7-8 meters. So, like I said, a lot of these swimmers, their coaches will be willing them on to stay under the water longer, working that underwaters. It was really popularised, in the mid-2000s. Ryan Lochte, Michael Phelps, when they began to just swim the majority of the race underwater. And that's the thing, you can actually swim the majority of the race underwater, 60%. You can swim 60 metres this race underwater, so you've got to maximise that, 3 and 5.
There you go, a couple of seconds quicker down the first heat. Shannon Byrne wins it, and Izzy McGrath, Laura Killen, as I say, a lot of these swimmers will advance to finals this evening, not particularly the A's. You'll be looking at the faster heats for those, but a lot of these will emerge from the C into B finals.
Yeah, we've got Heat 3 coming up now with Jenna McDougall going in fastest in the heat in lane 4. She took the 50-metre backstroke gold position yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see what form she's in today. Has she recovered? You'll see the difference now in that 50-metre backstroke, the really high stroke rate coming into this 100 metres, really slowing down that stroke rate. But do watch Jenna McDougall's 15 metres underwater. I can guarantee she'll be hitting 15 metres on every length.
Is that her strength then, would it be, the underwaters, as opposed to, because with certain swimmers are just uniquely good at the underwaters?
Absolutely, it's something that Earl McCarthy definitely tries to instill, I know, in his swimmers every single session. So I think they spend the first 20 minutes literally just working on that 50-metre start. So, yeah.
It's our third of 4 heats then. Lane 1 is missing. Getting progressively quicker here. Jenna McDougall of UCD is entered in 60.68 seconds. Would be considered one of the finalists, one would think. She goes in 4 lengths of the pool. Heat 3 of the 100 backstroke for women.
Yeah, I noticed actually Maria Godden there in lane 5, how still her head is. It's just not moving at all. The more still the head is, the more streamlined you're going to be, the less your body's going to move unnecessarily. And as you look there also with in lane 4, as India said, Jenna McDougall is similar. And you'll see it with Danielle Hill in the next heat as well. Backstrokes very different to the other strokes. That you don't know where you're going, you can't see where you're going, so you really got to hone in on that body position.
Now under the flags signify there's 5 minutes to go. Pick your point at the ceiling, try and get your finish. She looks happy with that. Maria Godden, 60.46, would suggest that's a PB for her.
Great swim there from Maria Godden and Jenny McDougall. You can see that they both looked really relaxed. Again, David talking about their head position, their long stroke as well. So I feel like both of them have a little bit more in the tank now for the final session.
There's your results. Godden, McDougall's Hodgson from Leeds, one of our visiting clubs. There's national titles up for grabs here. Visiting clubs get commemorative medals. Here's our final heat then of the 100 back. Olympian Danielle Hill. It's her second swim of the morning. She goes in 4.
Yeah, she'll probably just cruise this one as best she can. She's got Grace Davison beside her, the young talent from Ards, only 15 years old. Commonwealth Games athlete from Birmingham.
Don't forget at 10 o'clock in about 15 minutes time we've got a good breaking story to bring you. Good news story as well from Swim Ireland's point of view. That's coming up in about 15 minutes time. Last heat then of the women's 100 metres backstroke includes the Irish record holder. It stands to Danielle Hill at 58.29. She's 23 years of age now. Grace Davison alongside her in lane number 3. A mere 15-year-old, 8 years her junior. Very experienced swimmer, Danielle Hill. This is our main event. And 50 to go in our final heat. Iona Colbert has the halfway lead, but here comes Hill now.
Danielle will be very aware of what's going on around her. Just do enough, get through. You see with these girls, the underwaters, they're really good there from the Nova swimmer, accelerating out through the transition.
Got Cora Rooney there in lane 6, the 17-year-old from Enniskillen. She's holding on strong, so it'll be interesting now to see her in the final.
So visiting Iona Colbert from Nova Centurion that takes the win there. Danielle Hill eases into the final at a 61 point. It's just slightly slower than Maria Godden's heat time in the previous heat. You saw the delight in the face of Maria Godden, because obviously that was a PB, but Hill safely through. As a result of the final heat, Colbert, Hill, Cora Rooney, good swim from her to 62.5.
Yeah, obviously Danielle Hill, the Irish senior record holder, 58.2. She'll be looking to see if she can get in that 58 mark tonight. Down around there. So, yeah, job done.
This is the men's 100 backstroke. Barry McClemens, the Irish Paralympic swimmer, goes in 1. I'm just looking down the list. I don't see Shane Ryan's name in this. He won the 50 last night, the final, but unless my old eyes deceive me, I don't see him on the start list.
I was speaking to him yesterday. He said he had coronavirus last week. So
oh dear.
Yeah, so he's just recovering.
He's not having a good year, is he?
No, can't get any luck, that kid, can he?
If it wasn't for bad luck, there'd be none at all.
I know. So he said, no, it's just that 50, even though it was only a 50, it took a lot out of him. So I think he might be entered in the 50 fly. I'll have to check, but he said he's just going to do the 50s this competition and just sort of get back into racing. So
yeah, Shane Ryan, the Irish Olympian. Don't know if you were watching, if you may have been watching the European Championships earlier on this year, and couldn't swim backstroke because of injury to his shoulder. Could swim the freestyle all right, but not the backstroke. So he's obviously on his road back, but sorry to hear that he got COVID. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, so hopefully 2023 is a bit more lucky for Shane. I suppose, yeah, you can't swim backstroke with your shoulder because you're putting your shoulder in such an exposed position on backstroke, especially as you turn and the top end of that catch. You know, you're so exposed, especially on the rotator cuff, the upper deltoid part of the arm. So if your shoulder's not 100% right, you know, you will feel it more on the backstroke than the other strokes.
The last couple of meters down to this opening heat, and under the minute goes Owen Rynn, I should say, my apologies, 59.43, and a good distance between himself and Ray O'Shea, about a second and a half over 100's quite a considerable distance, so you'd be happy with that, breaking the minute. That's heat 1 down. A lot of the swimmers won't advance, but some of them at the front may do get a C to maybe a B final.
Yeah, great PB there from Owen Ryan. Just like Dave was talking about in regards to Shane's rotation through his shoulder, you can see with Owen, he sits quite high up in the water and it's all coming from that rotation of the shoulders. So body position is staying nice and straight, head position is staying nice and straight. So you can see just that power come from underneath. So you can see why nearly 2-3 second PB from there.
You can see the Irish senior and junior records over the top of your screen there as you move into heat 2 of 4. In fact, it's 5 heats. So that's the time to aim at now. 59.43 from that opening heat.
Lane 4 not here.
I think lane 9 is absent as well. No, lane 9 is there. So
Sebastian Chilcott, lane 4.
Decided to stay in bed this morning. The man from Hamilton, leaving us with a 9-swimmer field for this second heat. It's a word for our volunteers as well. You can see the timekeepers away to our left-hand side, all bedecked in white. Turn up at meet after meet after meet and make sure that everything runs smoothly. So just want to thank our volunteers who will be here for these 3 days of competition, but a long hours in as well. So eternally grateful to them as we watch these swimmers in the heat 2.
We've got Finlay of Banbridge taking it out really strong actually in that first 25. Really high stroke rate, and it seems to have dropped off now coming into this third 25. He seems to be in the clear water, slowing down that stroke rate, making sure he's nice and strong. I think he's hopefully going to cruise into one of the finals tonight.
He's looking very smooth. I thought he could have stayed under a bit longer there in the last turn. His fly kick was looking well. Yeah, he's definitely got a few more kicks in him there.
Absolutely,
Look
but
at
we've
the top
got
of the
Emmett.
pool, lane 8. Sorry, India, look at him at lane 8. Is that Emmett Cousins? Yeah, good back half swim for him.
Snuck in there.
Snuck in there. They called him the outside smokers from the outside lanes, and while everybody was obviously looking at the middle lanes there, Emmett Cousins came through and took the victory there from Finlay Wright in 59.27, and he's quicker than the first heat.
Yeah, great swim from the new roster, the 16-year-old Emmett Cousins. He must have really matched that first 50 on his time, because I'm fairly sure just turning in on just below that 28-second mark. So coming back to take it in a 59, really, really good split.
And you also have got a good pedigree in backstroke swimming down the years. The O'Connors down there. And Zorro O'Connor, as we used to call him, went to Olympic Games too. That's a while ago.
Before my time, John.
Way before your time. This is heat 3. Yeah, it's a good time for Cousins, really was. Nice back half of that swim. Last 25 was really good.
Got Harry Winston coming up in heat number 3 in lane 4. He was swimming very well yesterday. Be interesting to see how he takes this race.
We're getting progressively faster, as we say, as we move through these heats. And we're on to this one, which is heat 3. Harry Winston, lane 4. India mentioned him there from Aer Lingus, 17-year-old. Fastest on entry time, 60.19. Oh, in and around the 60-61 second mark. Pre this meet, 4 lengths of the pool. This is heat 3 of 5.
As you can see there with Harry as well, really nice still head position. He's a very tall lad, to be honest, so his limbs are extremely long, so he's got a great grasp on the water. He's not turning in first position there. We've got lane 5, so we've got Anthony Meyer from Sligo, the 21-year-old, turning in that first position. Very equal race here at the moment.
Yeah, all on the line. India said the Sligo swimmer looks good. Great transition there. As you turn over from backstroke, it's different to the other strokes. As you turn over onto your front to complete the tumble turn, you've got to pull your hand in hard to make sure you don't lose any momentum.
Again, we're looking at the top of the pool, aren't we, David? Middle lane gets to the end, lane 5, but good swim again, under a minute for Anthony Meyer, but we had a couple of swimmers in the outside lanes as well, keeping him honest.
Probably some pretty equal times from our first to third heat, so each winner of each heat still hitting in a 59. So last 2 heats, I'm sure the times will start to progress, but hopefully some of those swimmers will get a B or C final this evening.
As a result there, Maher wins it. A multi-swimmer Waring up to second place and Wong in third. It's all about posting times. Athletics, you can get through by being a top 2, maybe a fastest loser, but in swimming it's all about posting the time to advance to the next stage. Got C, B and A finals in this, the 100 backstroke for men and women at 5 o'clock this evening. This is our penultimate heat then.
Adam Barnes in lane 4, 17-year-old of the National Centre Ulster, and then a great talent in John Short, only 15 years old, from the National Centre in Limerick. So battle of the centres here in the middle.
Long lane 2. Penultimate heat. Heat 4 of 5. 100 back for men. Fastest time we've seen so far, 59.27. That came in heat 2. But these swimmers and in the next are all sub 1 minute swimmers anyway, so you see that time will be lowered over these last 2 heats.
Great start there from David O'Loughlin, the 18-year-old from Tala. His underwaters are definitely on that first length, absolutely phenomenal, staying under a lot longer than the rest of the swimmers, so kind of easing up on the energy in regards to the swimming, so definitely looks like he's cruising this heat swim.
Definitely, the more you can go underwater, the less strokes you got to take. The less strokes you take, less energy you got to expel. So simple as that. But we have 5 here.
On lane 5, John Short, the 15-year-old, coming in to take heat number 4.
Great swim. Big drop there, 54.8.
Yeah.
15 years old, that's excellent.
And he's really good, and he's spotted the finish so well. You can see, watch, he's got a point in the ceiling there. There, he finishes it really well. Gets the arm over extended, pushes it into the wall, and it posts a 54.8 fastest time this morning.
Yeah, John Shoranick will be happy with that. The coach, the National Centre Limerick. Morning swim, excellent.
Be interesting to see what his 50 split was there, because he wasn't in the race. Well, he was in the pack there at the start of the first 50, but to really come back and hit it on a 54, I'd like to go down and check those splits.
Put on the afterburners, didn't he?
I remember these are all morning swims, trying to get into CB and A finals. Certainly will qualify with the A final by that time.
I hope so.
Just one more heat to bring you then.
Some of the Hamilton swimmers taking a lie in this morning, and we haven't got lane 5 again. So Leigh Saba.
The hotel room you guys are in must be far too comfortable. Last heat then of the men's 100 back. Very good tie in our previous heat of 54.8 for John Short. That's the mark he's set so far. One of our Dubai swimmers.
There's a Hamilton swimmer who didn't stay in bed.
No, he did not. Rutherford is his name.
Great underwaters, look at that as it comes into shot. Maximising those underwaters.
And you have to come up within 15 metres. There's a red mark in the pool. If you go beyond that, under the water, you'll be disqualified.
Very difficult to do that, stay underwater to 12 metres on the last turn when you're in such oxygen debt, so it's going to be a quick one.
54.78 for our visiting swimmer.
Massive PB, wow.
Yeah, 54.78 is only 200ths of a second quicker than the previous heat, so John Short is safely through. He might fancy taking the national title and maybe the gold medal here as well.
Yeah, definitely. He was, in terms of the Irish contingent, he was streets ahead, so it's going to be between Nicholas Rutherford and John Short tonight. The skills there, the two of them were class apart from the rest of the field.
Yeah, the two of them still looking actually quite smooth in that heat sim as well. Very little splash coming from the two of them. Doesn't look like they're throwing up too much water, so looks like they're quite relaxed coming in from that heat swim. So hopefully they do have a little bit more in the tank, and it'll be a great race between the two of them in that 100 back row final.
On to the easiest event now. 400 medley.
He's joking, of course.
Yeah, I am.
400 IM, all 4 strokes involved here. We saw some really good races yesterday in the 200 IM.
100.
100 IM.
Sorry, 100 IM yesterday. Oh yeah, true, the 100 IM. Of course, you can't do that in the 50-metre pool. So this is our first heat then of 4. In a couple of minutes, we'll be giving you that exclusive and breaking news. So all 4 strokes involved here for these 6 swimmers. All juniors, ranging from Lexi Dunn at 13, Sarah Keane also at 13 years of age in lane number 6. Things can change quite a lot in this race, because they have to do all 4 disciplines for 100 metres each, and then the changeover comes usually at breaststroke level. It's the one that separates the wheat from the chaff, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely the breaststroke. It's the 400 medley is one of the most grueling events you can do in swimming. Not only does the breaststroke separate people, you've done 200 metres already of racing, 4 lengths of fly and 4 lengths of backstroke. So, if your breaststroke's not on point and you're not extremely aerobically conditioned, you will show up on the breaststroke leg, and I'm sure we'll see that on this event here now.
Well, it's 10 o'clock here Irish time, and news to bring you then that Swim Ireland and LEN have announced that the National Aquatic Centre here in Sports Campus Ireland will host the inaugural LEN European Under-23 Championships in 2023. That's great news for Swim Ireland. with the support of the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts, Gaeltacht, Sport and Media, Sport Ireland and the Sport Ireland campus. The NAC will play host to some of Europe's and Ireland's most talented swimmers from the 10th to the 13th of August next year. Obviously, eligible Irish athletes will include Ireland's newly minted European record holder Daniel Whiffen, as well as the 2021 World Short Course silver medalist Ellen Walsh, and Irish record holders like Victoria Caddis and Niamh Coyne and Oisin Cook. Potentially see the Romanian European swimming sensation David Popovici, the current 100-metre freestyle record holder, and also world champions like Benedetto Pilato and Thomas Chekon of Italy, also eligible. Ireland had previously hosted the European Short Course Swimming Championships in 2003 and the World Para Swimming European Championships in 2018. Personally, one of my favourite ever events to cover, that one back in 2018. But amazing, great news for Swim Ireland, with Swim Ireland and Len announcing that inaugural Under-23 European Swimming Championships here in August next year from the 10th to the 13th, a 4-day meet, and it's brilliant to see it here at this aquatic centre.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's going to be extremely exciting for Ireland to host that meet now back in August in 2023. Like I said yesterday, we have some incredible talent here in Ireland now. Some of our swimmers, world-class athletes, but I guess Daniel Whiffen really has put us on the map recently. Irish swimmer going in with that European record yesterday. We've got him swimming tomorrow in the 400-metre front crawl. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on there. And then let's not forget that 1500 metres that he did in the Scottish Nationals, breaking that record again, 14:14. So we've got some amazing swimmers coming in from other countries, but we've also got our own swimmers that are really going to, I think, show themselves in that meet.
Yeah, and obviously it's, John, you say it was in August, is it?
August next year.
Yeah. So the World Championships are from the 14th to the 30th of July in Fukuoka in Japan. And a lot of those swimmers will be at. Daniel Whiffen for sure will be looking at medaling there, amongst others. So it'll be interesting to see, them doing that meet, flying home to Dublin, racing at their home pool in a European event. It'll be fantastic to watch and fantastic to see that.
I think I'll pitch a tent here for 2023. I don't think I'll leaving the place.
Yeah.
There's not much going on next year.
So yeah, and then the year after that, the Olympics is just around the corner, so no break.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Like I said here, look at the breaststroke now. The field sort of opens up.
Yeah, like you said, David, absolutely grueling event, but if you're not aerobically conditioned to kind of finish that first 200, so already swam a 100-metre fly and a 100-metre back roll, it really is down to that breaststroke leg, trying to keep that power getting out in front of the pack, and then touching onto that front crawl leg, trying to keep your stroke long and smooth, getting that leg kick in that we talked about yesterday, and just bringing yourself home for that 400 metres.
Yeah, it must be such a relief to get from that breaststroke to that freestyle. So, yeah, these girls are just looking to improve in their best times. Coming into the last 50 now.
To be honest, I don't know why they don't put the 200-metre fly and the 400 IM on the same day. Great events.
In the 1500.
We've got Jessica Cater of Nova Centurion, the 15-year-old, miles ahead of the pack here, turning onto that last length of the freestyle. She's still staying nice and strong. Stroke rate is staying long. That kick behind her has stayed the same as from that first length, turning onto her front crawl. And then we've got a scattered field behind.
PB incoming here. Great swim, 5:16.04. She was a 5:27 for the 15-year-old, so big PB there, 11 seconds.
It's what you want to see after swimming a 400-metre IM. You wouldn't want to swim it. So yeah, taking that win, 11-second PB, great swim there from the Nova Centurion swimmer.
Sarah Keenan medalled yesterday. Busy program for her. Finishes in third. That's a good swim, as you mentioned. 11-second off a PB is nothing to be sniffed at. That's heat one. Done and dusted of 4 in the 400 IM. Individual medley, all 4 strokes involved. Jessica Cater at 5:16.04 ahead of Dunn and Keane.
Got Lucy O'Brien, the 13-year-old Limerick swimmer, coming in as the fastest qualifier for heat number 2. Very young swimmer here, so be interesting to see how she takes it out. Let's see what her race tactics are for 400 IM.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be different tactics for different swimmers. You have to work on your strengths. You know, if you're got more of a weak butterfly, well, you can't just tax yourself too much on that fly, because for you to go a certain time that you need to be going, it'll tax you more. So, you've got to work to your strengths on the 400 medley. You can't just think, oh, I'm just going to gun every stroke. So interesting to see. Here, great start there, lane 2. Alana Burns-Atkin at Banbridge. Obviously got a good 200 fly yesterday, so just like I said, India, the fly is her strength, so she's using that to her advantage here.
She is. You can see that she's staying nice and strong, even though fly is to her advantage. She's taking it out fast, but you can see that her stroke is quite relaxed. She's keeping her breathing rhythm quite similar. She's going up and down those lengths. Her undulation is great, so she's using a lot of that drive from her hip drive, chest drive into the water as well. So if she can get out into clear water and turn well onto this backstroke leg, hopefully she can keep that lead.
Yeah, definitely. Looking really, really strong. So I personally never swam a 400 medley when I swam, so I can't compare. But I'd imagine coming into this backstroke, you'd need to feel really, really good.
You do. I swam 400 IM when I was back in ESB, and just like I was saying there, the 400 IM and the 200 fly, I remember Dave McCullough, probably back when I was about 15 years old, I remember taking it out with Sarika McMahon. So we swam the 400 IM heat, and then later on, about an hour later, we swam in the 200 fly final. So difficult enough day, to be honest.
Brutal. Yeah, important as well in the 400 medley, even though it is 16 lengths, to keep your skills in check, from sitting up here and looking down. You really can tell that those skills, the turns are so important. So of course, the momentum into the turn, how you hold your speed, so much time to be gained and lost on the turns. So I'm sure these coaches will be telling their swimmers that non-stop. Now the fact they can watch back this stream, in the middle session for the final tonight, for some of these swimmers, they can go, well, I can work on X, or I can work on Y, or this wasn't as good. So great opportunity for these swimmers to improve.
Particularly in that short course pool, so seeing as we have those extra turns, if you're not as strong a breaststroke swimmer, really attacking that underwater, like we said earlier, you can swim faster underwater, so trying to attack the underwaters and do as little swimming if it's a stroke that you're not as strong at, definitely is something to work on.
Notice how a lot of them on that backstroke, they're not kicking their legs too hard. They can't tax their legs too much. Save it for this breaststroke and freestyle.
Coming into this breaststroke, it is all coming from the leg drive, like you were talking about yesterday. It is that short leg kick with the fast hands at the front. Stroke rate is going to go a little bit longer on the breaststroke to save as much energy as possible. But like you said, just hitting those turns and getting a good pull out off the wall.
I bet you there that Ireland are going to host the European Under-23 Championships next year in August here at the NAC. That's inaugural championships as well. Len have actually released their calendar today, which includes that meet in Dublin. We're going to have the European Games as well next year. Now, whether swimming's involved in that, we don't know.
I don't think so. I think it was involved in the first one.
Well, we did the first one in Glasgow. This year in Rome, it was a separate entity.
Yeah.
The diving will take place in Poland. We know that according to the Len calendar. So whether they go ahead now and rejoin, well, that remains to be seen. But the first one in Glasgow certainly was a pretty good success. But Rome has just stood on its own this year. But if it's going to be European Games, you need to get swimming involved as well. So hopefully they can resolve all of those issues.
Yeah, we just want to see swimmers swimming fast in the best venues in the world all against each other. So if that's part of a European Games or not, sure. It doesn't really matter. She's held this lead really well, hasn't she?
Yeah, Lana hasn't faltered at all. She stayed strong throughout all four strokes, to be honest. And like we were talking about, attacking those turns and keeping her stroke nice and long. Probably hoping to get into a final this evening, so probably trying not to tax herself too much on this heat swim. She can see that she's clear of the field now, so her only component, I guess, is against the clock now.
Yeah, just coasting through. I know our coach Davey Wilson will be wanting her to push to get a best time. She's turned there in 4:36.3. Her best time is a 5:19. So yeah, she's on course to break that. Yeah, you got to take every opportunity to swim fast, even if it's in the heat or in the final. Doesn't matter. If you're on form, just take it.
See lane 5 really picking up that leg kick, trying to take the win on this off Alana. I think she's clear now though.
Didn't register there.
No, the clock didn't. I was going to give it the credit to Valencia for winning it, but
she was faster than that.
She was.
She's maybe like a 5:11 or so that should be updated.
Yeah, held it well to the finish.
Yeah, really good. She didn't hit the pad hard enough, or?
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
But they'll rejig that.
Yeah, there'll be a sort of insurance time that the block will store.
Again, it's all about posting time as fast as you can to advance.
Yeah, we have the technical team just on the inside, just behind the referee there, so they should have all the backup times coming in, so hopefully we'll see those official times posted up soon.
A couple of visitor swimmers in the middle lanes here who've posted some decent entry times. Leah Slosson of the City of Leeds, the 17-year-old in lane 4, is entered on a 4:44. Kate Morris from Nova Centurion on a 4:47.
Yeah, big drop in Kremlin times coming into this one. So last heat, our fastest qualifier in was 5:17, and in this one we've got a 4:44. So again, interesting to see how they take out this race, where their strengths are. They're not Irish swimmers, so City of Leeds taking in Leah Schlossen. She's their lead competitor, so it'd be interesting to see how she takes out this race.
Yeah, I remember Kate Morris yesterday in the 200 fly. I think she might have won it. One of the Nova swimmers, great history of distance swimming, and especially in this 400 medley and distance freestyle. So obviously she's using this fly to her advantage. You know, the 2 fly and the 4 medley, like you said, India, sort of go hand in hand. You know, Michael Phelps obviously was 200 fly 400 IM specialist. Even the current world record holder for male anyway, Léon Marchand of France. It's a great 400 medley, 200 fly guy, and then Katinka Hosu as well on the female side. So yeah, so she's taking this out and looks very smooth.
Katinka Hosu actually swam in an Irish Nationals a couple of years back.
She did, I remember. A while ago.
It's a while ago. Everything's a while ago.
Swam every single event. I remember every event.
Every event. The Iron Lady.
She used to race at the Mare Nostrum events, and
yeah, I think our best days are behind her now. So the Europeans
yeah,
didn't have a great Europeans there.
You know, but
for our high standards, having said that.
Yeah. She used to just race every single event. I remember seeing her. She would race the Mare Nostrum events. India, you've done them. They're only 2 days, so they cram them in, the events in, and she used to race every single event, no swim down. She would just race it. Well, it was 400 medley. She'd walk out, walk around to the call room, and then be straight in for a 50 free or something. And that was her training, just crazy race exposure. But yeah, I used to do 150 free, and I was done for about a week. So.
Exactly, it was just competition after competition at Mare Nostrum. But she'd come in, she'd swim every single race, and to be honest, her special talent was never really dropping off that much in between races as well. Like her recovery was absolutely phenomenal.
So obviously, does she still hold the world record in the 400 medley?
I'll have to double check that, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Summer McIntosh, the young Canadian swimmer, maybe is close to it or in or around there. So yeah, world records always dropping. Very close here.
Yeah, we've got a strong breaststroke leg here coming in from Leah of City of Leeds. Just taking the lead there from Kate Mars. Kate Mars taking it out nice and strong. She seemed quite relaxed on that 100 back roll, really coming in quite slow in those turns. Maybe she's just thinking that she's going to cruise into this final now tonight. So hopefully she can just stay strong with those breaststroke legs and keep up with Leah of City of Leeds.
Yeah, the lead swimmer, if you notice how she tucks that head right in between her arms on the glide, just streamlines really nicely. Your breaststrokes with the most drag out of all the strokes, so you've got to minimise anything that's going to add drag. So really, really good. Wonder if breaststrokes are a specialty. Good lead into the freestyle now. So, like you said earlier, India, these swimmers just looking to get back for finals tonight. Just doing 2 400 IMs in one day is no easy task.
Turning well on this final front crawl leg, again looking strong, looking smooth, keeping that leg kick up. We've clearly got our 2 leaders. We've got Kate in lane 5 and we've got Leah in lane 4. So we'll definitely see them coming back in for the 400 IM later on this evening. So I guess it's just about cruising and keeping that energy up for later.
Last 50 then.
Real nice low head position on that freestyle as well. When she comes into shot here, yeah, you can hardly see her mouth. Same with every stroke. The amount if you can move your head the least, the less the rest of your body's going to move, the more streamlined you're going to be. Great swim here.
And starting to lap the field as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Last couple of metres then, glides in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It turns around, has a look at the board, see what her time was.
Didn't register again there. Technical issue. She certainly wasn't a 5:51. She was more like a 4:46 maybe, 4:45. So we had that issue yesterday with the block in lane 5 coming loose.
Yeah, that was came loose. This one is a bit more of a technical issue.
Yeah.
You know, they're not obviously not pushing the boards hard enough, or the board's not picking up the touch.
Those boards are very sensitive, so
yeah, surprising
it
actually.
might be a bit of an issue. I imagine doing a 400 IM and looking up and going, really? Was it that slow? No, you weren't. You were 5 seconds faster.
Yeah, she does look quite confused there, to be honest. Leah from City of Leeds, definitely she knows that she took the win on that, but it's coming up that she came in second, so they are going to have to check those times.
Unofficially, that's your result. Slosson did win it though ahead of Morris and Poppy Mitis from Sunday as well.
Just upgraded there on the main screen.
Yeah, the main screen, not well, you can't see that. Yeah, 4:46. Yeah.
So, like 5 seconds quicker than what was registered.
Here's the final heat then. Molly Main from Temple Oak.
She's not here.
Is not here. And 3 is absent. Yep, not competing in this event this morning. Leaves us with the 9 swimmers. The visiting swimmers here, David, really hold a whip hand, don't they, in the 400 IM?
Yeah, you know, especially in some of those England clubs, like I said earlier, the Nova and Leeds, you know, great distance traditions. So, actually just noticed up there in lane 8, I remember you said yesterday, and you used to breathe to the side and fly.
I did,
lane 8 there, who's that? Emma Demant was breathing to the side there on the first push-off. Let's see if she does it again.
Lane 8?
Lane 8, yeah. Yeah, ever so slightly.
Yeah, not fully bowling her head around, but yeah.
You see a wee bit of a...
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to take that breath. I guess it's just a change in technique. If you do feel like that resistance is too high in your fly, maybe fly is not her best stroke as well. So trying to keep as much energy, stay in nice low head position, reserving that. So as the higher your chest is going to come, the more energy you're going to use from those arms to get your arms out of the water. So maybe that's the way she's staying nice and low against the water, reserving that energy on the 100 start.
Yeah, the only other swimmer I knew to sort of do that was Milorad Kavic, who famously Michael Phelps beat by 1/100th of a second in Beijing in the 100 butterfly, 2008.
The last turn of the arms, yeah.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
It's famous race in history, probably.
Yeah.
He sort of breathed to the side as well a wee bit, so just kept his head lower, kept his hips higher. So interesting way to swim it.
Difficult way to train it as well. I don't know how much pool water I swallowed when I was trying to learn how to breathe to the side on fly. So It takes a while to master, but
And that was purely just to keep your head position lower? Just helped you? Was that why?
it was. I was just using far too much energy. I was coming up higher than I was shooting forward. So as soon as I started turning my head position to the fly, I was using all that energy to shoot my body forward and getting that undulation just like on time. Like getting that timing on fly is absolutely crucial. So it was just what made my my fly just, and actually the timing, it just got on point then from turning my head to the side. So it's kind of just finding those small things, I guess, with each individual swimmer. So it's like trying out certain things. If it does work, if it doesn't work, it's great just to give them a go and see if it does improve on the stroke.
Yeah, it's swimming's so individual, isn't it? So different strokes for different folks, you know, different ways to get the same results. So
like you'll see even on a front crawl event, you've got certain people that are swimming with that nice long stroke rate. You've got the very much a UCD tactic of going in for that straight arm, particularly for those sprint events. So yeah, it's just about trying out individual things, seeing what works for the individual and sticking with it.
Yeah, for sure. Two foreign swimmers here. Decent bit ahead. Nova swimmer. Emma Erskine has not looked back. The lead swimmer as well, like getting her head right down in between the streamline. She's coming into this is probably where the gauntlets lay down now, where you really begin to feel it. Second 50 of the breaststroke leg. You know, hold your technique. Hold your form, especially coming into this last breaststroke turn. And the oxygen depth must be unreal on this here, India, on the underwater pull-out. No.
Definitely. It's about trying to get that distance per stroke, particularly on this breaststroke leg, but the longer you're staying under the water, obviously you're holding your breath for that little bit longer, and like you said before, it is about that aerobic capacity that you have. If you haven't trained that aerobic capacity, you haven't trained that lung capacity, you're really going to feel your lungs are burning now turning into this last 100 front crawl.
Yeah, you have to be so fit to do this event.
Turning on a similar time there. We've got the two girls pretty much head to head coming into this last 100 front crawl. So we've got lane 4. She hasn't got as much of a leg kick as we do in lane 5. So it'll be interesting to see who can keep that stroke nice and long. Probably going to coast off each other now until that last 25, and we'll see who takes it.
And for the last leg then, it's the freestyle. Good race between these two as we've got 50 to go. As they'll turn for the penultimate time. Thompson leads. Erskine in second place. With plenty of heats to bring you over the next while. We've got 2 more for the women's. Then we bring you the men's. We've got 4 heats of that too. And then we go to a cluster of 50 fly for men and women. Women have got 5 heats. The men have got 9. And I did check, Shane Ryan is actually competing in the 50 fly, so he'll see him a little later on.
.452 there, taking the win. The lead swimmer, she sort of advanced in that breaststroke and then just sort of thought she could have gone to her legs a wee bit earlier, so maybe she's saving that for the final. Nova swimmer coming in second there.
Yeah, about 6 seconds slower than the winner of that last heat, Leah of City of Leeds.
Oh, was it?
So she came in on the 4:46, so we had Lara there coming in on the 4:52. So yeah, she definitely looked like she had more in reserve in the leg kick for that last 100 front crawl, so maybe she is just keeping it in reserve for that final.
Yeah. I'd say conserving energy in a 400 medley is more important than some of the other events.
Knowing that you have to swim it again in the afternoon, probably, definitely just a bit of a mental block.
Yeah.
As a result, Thompson, Erskine and Hannah O'Connor, the best of the Irish, in a 5:06.24. This is just going to move it on to heat 3 now in a second. Again, it's our visiting swimmers, the City of Leeds. That's the boys.
The boys now, obviously, Daniel Whiffen broke the Irish senior record in this event last week at the Scottish short course. I don't think he ever really swam it, he just sort of did it for a bit of crack. But he broke Brendan Highland's mark, I think, by about 2 seconds, so just shows you the crossover between these distance events. So obviously not doing it here, but some great swimmers in the last heat coming in, actually. Olympian Finn McGeever, Mark Sharanek, the winner of the 100 free, and then the young talent Jack Casson, who also swims out of Limerick.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone say they swam a 400 IM for a bit of a crack.
Yeah, different breed, isn't he, Daniel Whiffen?
We've got some young swimmers coming up in this first heat. Got Ryan Griffin there from Cookstown, just 14 years old. Got Donica McCarthy there from New Ross, just 15 years old as well. And we've got Thomas Price from Lisburn City, 15 years old. They're 3 middle lanes, so pretty even pack there coming in the first 100 fly, keeping it nice and strong. And see what happens on the 100 back roll.
Yeah, a lot of coaches like their younger swimmers to do 400 IM. Teaches them resilience. Teaches them to do all 4 strokes. It'll expose your weaknesses. So, yeah, popular amongst coaches.
And yet your coach never made you do a 200 fly?
No, I was more awkward. 1500 I used to do.
50 to a 1500.
You had a decent career, David.
And then as I got older, the events, it just came down and down and down.
Yeah. I wouldn't be putting yourself down that much. Commonwealth Games, European Championships. You're busy schedule for yourself in the last couple of years before you decided to call it a day.
Yeah. Had a great career.
Did you enjoy the whole thing?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, loved people I've met, places I've been. Yeah, amazing. So as you look back, it's not so much the swimming that you look fondly of. You do, of course, but you look back more at the people you've met. The sort of experiences you've had in different countries across the world, and the swimmers I got to race against, some of the world's greatest swimmers. So
it's a difficult transition, isn't it, though, to be swimming competitively and then it all stops. You've got no more than 4 o'clock in the mornings, all that that goes and involved in swimming, just ploughing up and down the pool, whatever. How do you get your head around actually making an announcement, and then how's it been since that announcement?
Yeah, it was different. It was certainly different. It was sort of brewing in my head for a wee while. I was like, I don't feel I have too much more to give. I felt that, done all I could, but it was certainly different. It's sort of, you're so into, you'll know this, as soon as, it gets to a certain point, 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, all right, I've got to go to bed now because I'm up at X. But then, it takes a few seconds for your brain to switch and go, oh wait, no, it doesn't matter. Or, you can go out for a few drinks or have some junk food or something, and you don't have to feel guilty, but subconsciously you still do. So yeah, it's strange, but it's a welcome change as well.
Yeah, a lot of individual athletes in particular, because they're straining on their own, it's a tunnel vision up and down the pool all the time, is that they can find it difficult to just suddenly stop it and go back into what I suppose called normal life again, having gone through the 4 o'clock in the morning starts and the late evenings and travel and all that kind of stuff as well. So how have you adjusted to it?
Okay, well, it's been, I've stayed involved in it. Obviously I'm doing the commentary here, I'm getting my coaching qualifications. So yeah, I love swimming, love the sport, want to give back and see. I think if I just went completely cold turkey and just walked away from it, it'd be harder. But I've stayed involved. I love seeing the young swimmers now coming through. Like obviously Daniel Whiffen, spoke about him a lot. But I'd love to see how Irish swimming can go. But yeah, it's certainly a change you got to be aware of anyway.
Yeah, I think it was a Mayo footballer recently who said when he retired, the one thing he noticed is that he was immediately taken out of the WhatsApp group, and he said that kind of really hurt.
Yeah.
Even though I was retiring.
Yeah.
So what do you think, India?
Yeah, no, it's true. Like David kind of started off there, it is the things that you remember is the kind of community that you had, I guess, when you were growing up through swimming. Like your swim team or your family, you spend more time with your swim team than you probably do your own family. I actually just did an interview there with hersport.ie just before the start of the competition. And she was chatting to me about my swimming experience, and I didn't even realise, but I was focused more on the kind of community aspect. So I'd say, yeah, being removed from that WhatsApp group definitely was a sting to the heart, to be honest, because you're kind of removed from that community, I guess. Yeah, removed from that little family group that you had. But yeah, I guess like transitioning from swimming to coach, or even just leaving your sport, you do feel a little bit lost initially. But like David said, being able to stick with it, being able to stick with coaching and sticking within the sport, which has obviously been a passion for a very long time. It's the best way to, I think, transition from having to leave your sport, to be honest, is getting into coaching and getting into things like commentating with you.
Yeah, feel free. Donnacha McCarthy, just to acknowledge that there, wins that first heat. It's a PB for him. It's about 8 seconds better than his previous entry time. You can see him actually just spin around here, immediately looking for this time at the ball, and he says it's okay.
Could go faster, I think.
I think he can go faster, all right. 4:56.63 wins that opening heat as we move on to heat 2.
Similarly young contingent here of boys, sort of 15 to 16 year olds. So great start from the Lisburn swimmer, lane 5, Matthew Hamilton. Class apart already, look at that. Stan Shepherd coaching him at Lisburn. You know, that's where I swam as a kid, Lisburn Swimming Club. So those details like that short course, so important. Look at what he's taken out of the field already.
Got that outlier there, Conor Lanigan as well, for the 15-year-old from Trident Swimming Club, coming in lane 9, staying strong in that first 50 fly. But we've got the pack really evening out now in the second 50. Strong start there though from lane 5, Matthew Hamilton, really strong butterfly there.
Yeah, I wonder will he hang on? We'll see. Up here, we don't know each individual swimmer's strengths and weaknesses, but you can sort of tell that obviously fly probably his. Looks very tall, doesn't he?
Very tall swimmer, that long stroke right there on back roll. He's got a real grasp under the water. This might conserve him actually some energy coming into the 100 breaststroke after this. So he can keep his turns on point, and get a nice underwater kick, and then keep that nice long stroke rate. Hopefully he can keep that lead.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of. Well, one thing I would note with him, if you sort of look at his knees are kind of coming out on that kick, so he's probably not getting the most efficient kick he could be. I know Stan Shepherd will notice that and tell him that. So if your knees are coming up like that, you know, you're not kicking as much from your hip, and you're not using your quads as much, as well as drag as well. So the fact he's still out ahead and he's got that to work on just shows you what he can improve on for tonight.
More of a dip kind of bobbing style rather than straight line, so you start to lose points of a second as you're going through, moving. It's not as efficient really, is it? Instead of picking a point in the ceiling and keeping your head absolutely still and your body streamlined behind. He's gone through in a 2:16, 2:1 onto breaststroke. This is the one where the leg that usually separates the wheat from the chaff, as we mentioned earlier on. He's a long, languid style to his breaststroke, so he's allowing the rest of the field to bunch up behind.
Looks like he's got a really nice breaststroke, actually. One of his stronger strokes, real good glide. Again, conserving a bit of energy here. Lane 4, Tala swimmer, Kerry Burke coming up on him.
Yeah, two very different styles of breaststroke there. So we've got lane 5, he comes up quite high in the water and he brings his elbows right into the side of the body. Where we've got lane 4, our Tala swimmer. He's very, he kind of has a little bit of more of a drive going into that streamline after every single stroke.
Yeah, so.
Looks like he's nearly taking 2 strokes.
He smells blood, doesn't he?
Yeah, 2 strokes per 1, and he's now got the lead.
Yeah, just India said the 2 different styles of strokes. Yeah, he's taking double the strokes maybe. But you know, hey, if you've got the fitness to do it, you get the fitness to hang on, do it. Nobody remembers the amount of strokes he took, they only remember the time. So he's really done well there. Bundles of energy.
He turned a 5 or 6 metre deficit into a 1 metre lead.
Shows you how much it can change on a 400 medley. Lisburn swimmer coming back though. Freestyle is his strong one too. Real long, nice looping stroke, like John said. Similar to his breaststroke.
Yeah, we had Samuel take the lead there, but Matthew, you can see he's just really strong on that underwater, on that turn. He is a very tall swimmer here, so he's gaining that extra speed just coming off that turn.
Double breath into the turn, the last turn here.
There's not much in it. 0.33 of a second. Matthew Hamilton in the last 50 of this heat of the 400 IM. Just a little look across the pool at his opponent. Last 25. A good comeback. He was overtaken on the breaststroke leg, but good last turn there. Just flips his body over and pulls himself clear, goes to the legs. Last 5 meters then of this second heat. And he's going to win it comfortably in the end. Previous heat winning time was a 4:56, and he's gone well under that. 4:47.53, and looks like that's another PB for our winner, Matthew Hamilton.
Yeah, great swim, yeah, PB, lots to work on too. So, breaststroke, he sort of just coasted through it, and then just he knew his freestyle was good enough to bring it home hard. So it's all about tactics as well. You just don't want to tax yourself. It's not like the 100 medley of yesterday where you just go gung-ho on each length, but you have to go max on each stroke, So you've got to be smart. You've got to swim to your strengths.
Exactly, you're already getting that 4-second PB, and like you said, he had that stuff to work on his backstroke as well, trying to keep that leg kick under the water, so definitely a lot of room for improvement in that 400 IM.
Caden McCarthy's a lot quicker than the previous two heats on entry time. He's got a 4:15 to his name. 22 years of age from Mallow Swans. Swims out of the National Centre in Limerick. Penultimate heat then, men's 400 IM. Horgan Pfeiffer, Fahy, Hansen Slipper, then McCarthy in 4, fastest qualifier, or fastest on entry time, sorry. Daniel Kennedy, Coyne, Ben Moran, Walker and Walsh across the pool.
Caden McCarthy of Limerick, his first race of this competition. Just doing the 400 medley and 200 medley. So we had a day off yesterday. So I assume he'll be coming in here, just get the feel here in this first heat, make it back for tonight. National Centre Limerick swimmer under John Sharanek. But India, you know yourself, the first race of a meet is always a bit, you want to blow out the cobwebs, you want to just, sort of get that first one out of the way. That's the way I always looked at it.
I was the exact same, to be honest. I actually used to enter a race that I wasn't usually that into, to be honest, just to get myself going, get myself used to the pool. Every pool is different. I know people find that a bit mad to say if you're not a swimmer.
Very different,
but every single pool is different. You feel different in every pool. The wall is different. So just kind of getting that first race in, really knowing how you're feeling in the water. It's a great way to start a competition.
It's sort of what's all around you. Outside swimmers, people who don't swim as much will just think, oh, it's just water, it's just a lane, but it's your surroundings, it's everything as you're swimming. It's awareness of, like me and yourself, we swam in this pool hundreds of times, so we know exactly, as you're swimming up and down, you know exactly where the wall is. You can subconsciously sort of, you know the depth of the pool. Your perception is all dialed in. Like you said, when you swim in a different pool, like if I swam abroad or anything, it is weird, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So like even just the pools in Ireland. So I swam different in Lisburn to when I swam in Bangor to when I swam in the NAC to even just like Club Gala, like going out to Aer Lingus. Like every single pool is different and the way you swim it. So kind of getting that first race in, getting a feel for the pool, knowing what your surroundings are, even the atmosphere in the pool. So in the NAC, it's obviously a much bigger space. It's quite vast. And to be honest, it can be quite intimidating if it is your first competition coming in at nationals and you've got all these eyes looking down at you. So for all these young swimmers that are coming in, it is a very different experience. So coming in and just getting used to your surroundings and getting used to the pool that you're swimming in, it's very important.
It's a great facility here as well. It's, there's not too many better in the world, honestly.
It's a fast pool too.
Very.
And swimmers love it. Any visiting swimmers I've talked to over the years really like this. Irish record, by the way, is Daniel Whiffen's 4:11.05, and he said that at the Scottish Nationals last week. He's breaking records every time he gets out of bed.
I know.
McCarthy's now got the lead.
Yeah, looking strong here. Like I said, he'll just want to sort of get through here. His best time coming in here is 4:15, so he's 4 seconds off Daniel Whitten's mark is his best time, so
Yeah,
we're looking
that's
for a
not
nice.
hanging around with that entry time.
No, so we just want to get under maybe 420 here. You know, in and around there, just sort of feel good. Come back for tonight because again, like doing 2 400 medleys in a day, you know, you can't just go max in the morning, max in the evening.
Yeah, I'm
Kane's gotta
presuming it's a
go-
straight final this evening. So,
Yeah.
I can't see CB in A finals of the 400. But anyway, on to the freestyle leg they go, India.
Yeah, Caden's still looking really strong. I was about to comment there on his breaststroke technique. He's got a really long wingspan, so his arms come out really wide, so really eating up the water in every stroke. So I'm guessing that's good, taking some of keeping the energy in reserve. But coming into this last 100, he's looking really strong with that leg kick from behind. Still looking quite relaxed though in regards to the stroke rate that he's got on his front crawl. So guessing just looking to cruise in, knowing that he's got that 400 IM this evening.
So last 50 then of this heat. Heat 3 of 4, 400 IM and Caden McCarthy looking to come down the last 25 and bring it close to that 4 minutes 20. 4:47 in the previous heat. He's going to go way under that. Lane 6, Ronan Kilcoyne from Sligo. Also in the mix here as he glides into the finish. It's a 4:27. Respectable enough swim for the morning, but he doesn't want to go hell for leather before the final this evening. Kilcoyne in second place and Hansen in third.
Yeah, good time there by Caden. So a good bit above his actual PB, but still going in about 20 seconds faster than our previous qualifier. So I'm sure that's comfortably brought him into the final now this evening. So yeah.
There's the result. McCarthy will go safely through to the final. Kilcoyne will do so as well. Hansen perhaps say he will too. Fahy may have to wait, but anyway, we're on to the final heat now. That's your full result. That senior result, or record time you see at the top of the screen, is actually out of date now. 4:12.13, broken by Whiffen 4:11.05 last week.
4:11.0 was it? Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see him in action again tomorrow in the 400 free heats as we move on to this, the final one for this morning in the 400 IMs. It's the men's 4th of 4 prelims. Mark Saranac, gold medalist yesterday of Limerick, entered on a 4:13. He's in lane 4.
Got a great lineup here. Lane 3, Finn McGeever of Limerick. Then his teammate, we've got Mark Saranac, 27 as well from Limerick, and we've got Jack Casson, great swim from him yesterday in the 100 metre. I am looking really smooth and really strong. And we've got him coming in lane 5.
Yeah, great field, yeah. Mark Saranac, really strong swimmer. 400 medley, silver medalist from the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Australia for Scotland. He was a 4:13 long course, so so he's entered here in a 4:13 short course, but no doubt he's a lot faster than that. He'll be down in the probably 4:06-ish would be his best. So world-class swimmer here. Trains out of obviously John Saranac's son, the National Centre Limerick coach. Trains out in Florida under the Gators program. So really, really experienced swimmer. So Finn McGeever and Jack Casson here just gonna want to try and sit on him. Don't let him get too far ahead. And look at the length of the stroke on the backstroke here. Just conserve the energy. You don't want to be too taxed here at all. Obviously, very different short course to long course with the turns on a 400 medley. So, yeah, just like India said, field's kind of splitting up a bit between these three. Mark Saranac, Finn McGeever, Jack Casson.
Mark taking it out strong there, 57.63 on his first 100 fly. And like Jack said, really keeping it strong here on that back roll stroke. Nice long stroke, attacking those turns, good underwater, keeping in that streamline.
Yeah, it just shows, Mark Saranac swims at the Florida Gators, which are some of the best swimmers in the world come out of there. Ryan Lochte came out of there. Caleb Dressel, he trains with Caleb Dressel, one of the, if not the best swimmer in the world at the minute. So you see training with those, how important is it, India, to train with people that are so much better than you, to sort of push you on every single day?
Yeah, it can either make you or break you, to be honest. So getting in training with people. So I remember Earl McCarthy from UC used to always tell us he'd love to drop us out to his old club in Germany, and so especially with the 100 front crawl for women. He knew that they were probably swimming a good 3 or 4 seconds faster than us, and he said, I'd love to drop you out there, come back in 6 months, try and pick you up, and you'd either have quit swimming or you'd be swimming the exact same time as them. So definitely the people around you, again, like you said, your community, the people that you're swimming against, it can either egg you on or can be a little bit tough mentally as well.
Yeah, so important.
Saranac is NCAA champion 5 years ago as well. He got a couple of gold medals there. Commonwealth Games, silver, 2 bronze. Birmingham this year took a bronze in relay, 4x2.
Look at the length he's getting here on this underwater pull-out. Where do you see how far he goes? You see to be able to do this under such oxygen depth. It's incredible. Oh, he's on the freestyle now, so you have to rewind that to see that. But he was getting 12, 13 metres.
He's 27 now, so represents Scotland. His dad working in, as you mentioned, in Limerick as the head coach down there, the performance centre. And it's good to see him here competing.
He was out at Stirling for a few years. He's moved back to Florida though. Sunshine.
Even on his front crawl here though, he's taken 9-10 strokes to get down the pool. His underwater kick, he's only really coming up at the flags. So he's gaining about 2 metres per stroke here on the front crawl as well. Really nice and strong grasp on the water.
He's very chilled here, isn't he?
It's a very relaxed swim. Last 25 for him, and like the swimmers ahead of them, most of them have still got 2 laps to go. He's cruising, and he's going to post the fastest time. Nice and easy for him. 4:16 dead for Mark Saranac. Fastest qualifier, safely through to this evening's final. There was no bother at all to him. Cass in second. Finn McKeever, who led the first 100, content with third in a 4:27.
I think he'll be in a race of his own tonight. He'll be well under 4:10, I think.
Finn McKeever and Caden McCarthy might be battling for that bronze and silver.
Yeah.
Might be a good race between, but Saranac looked like he's way ahead of the rest.
Very, very strong. Didn't really have a weak stroke there, did he?
Didn't look like it at all. So I was thinking the breaststroke he might come back to the field, but certainly not. There's your official result then. He's almost 9 seconds, in fact, over 9 seconds ahead of Casson. McKeever in third, 4:27. Will make a final because that's actually quicker than the previous heat time of Caden McCarthy, the 4:27.7.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good competition later for the silver and the bronze medal in regards to the 400 IM. But I think Mark, just looking so strong, like David said, didn't really look like he had a weak stroke on that 400 IM. So be interesting to see how much faster he can take it in the final this evening.
So we're done and dusted with the 400 IMs. It's a long part of this day 2, middle of our program. And we're going to shorten it considerably now for the men's and women's 50 fly. 2 lengths of the pool, starting away to our left-hand side. There's your lineup then for this opening heat. Splash and dash. Ellen Keane, the Paralympic gold medalist, involved in this. In lane number 2, the 27-year-old swims here at the National Aquatic Centre. She's going in lane 2, close to the camera. There's 2 lengths of the pool. Bailey, Doherty, Joyce and Kelly above her. It's all about hitting the wall hard and slapping it hard like that. Even Bailey beaten to the touch actually by Katie Kelly. 30.23 in lane 6.
Yeah, I thought lane 4 was going to have it there. Clara Doherty, but just sort of got caught between strokes. just sort of almost face plant at the finish. So, you know, always things to work on.
Nice PB there from Paralympian Ellen Keane. She's swimming in lane 2. She's gone from the 32.7 right down to a 32.25, which is a big drop on a 50 fly. So good swim there from Ellen.
Great swim.
Heat 2 of 5 then. Eva Kenny of Aer Lingus in the centre lane, lane 4. She's 17 years of age. A couple of younger swimmers alongside her. Ruby Carney, Swan Leisure Centre Swimming Club, is in lane 5, and then Maeve McLean, City of Derry, in lane 6, and Lucia Ross Vallon of Athlone, all 15 years of age, across the pool, along with Hannah Malloy, indeed. Youngest swimmer on the outside lanes, Hannah Poynton and Abby Yalverton. They're both 14. 2 lengths of the pool, heat 2, 50 fly for women. There will be a C and a B and an A final for these swimmers this evening, so there is a chance for a second swim. A blanket finish. Who gets the touch? Yes, lane 1. The 14-year-old surprised them all. Lane 0. Nearest to us, 29.91. You can see her there, close to the camera. Good touch, good finish.
Yeah, great finish there from Hannah Poynton. She had a great swim yesterday as well. So she looks like she's on form, the 14-year-old from Trojan.
Just shows you can win a 50 fly, can't you? On just the merest turn of the arms at the very end. But looked like she was behind. Got a good finish.
Yeah, just spot 50 flies, all about just, especially short course, just spot the turn, spot the finish. You know, because obviously you don't have that tumble turn, you have that touch turn. You're going so fast that, you know, if you don't spot that turn right, spot that finish correctly, you'll lose critical time.
A lot of these swimmers will be counting the strokes in their head. Just trying to get that perfect finish. Heat 3, 5. Rosalie Phelan from Cormorant has registered a time pre this of 29.67. Good turn from her as well. Opens up a 3/4 of a body length lead. Obviously down in lane 0. Yeah. The swimmer involved in Sophia Quigley. She finished second to Phelan. We're sub 29 now, 28.78.
Yeah, she timed that finish perfectly there. Rosalie Phelan, 17 from Cormorant, 28.78. So again, a great milestone for her 50 to break from that 29 down to the 28. So really good swim from her there.
Yeah, notice as we get into the faster heats, the amount of breaths these girls take will be less. So obviously, Andy, you'll know more than anyone on fly, when you breathe, it's resistance, isn't it? So if you can minimize those breaths, especially on a 50, it's going to pay dividends. It's
true. I know personally, I was on the 50. It was take one breath, put your head down, and swim to the wall. What was your tactic? Keep your breathing rhythm, or
I didn't breathe.
Didn't breathe.
No breath.
Heat 4. 2 visiting swimmers here. Fastest times are sub 28s in Jade Kershaw in lane 4 from Hamilton in Dubai, and the Nova Centurion 16-year-olds. Connie Phillips, also a sub 28 swimmer. Girl in the orange hat from Dubai comes up and has a little look at the wall, and no breath for the last 5 meters. That's good from her. 28.07.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to breathe, you definitely don't breathe in the last sort of 10 meters. You know, keep that head down.
Yeah, like you said before, David, it's all about putting your head down, really just swimming into the wall, and just making sure that you're timing that last stroke perfectly. Jade there, she was kind of finishing on a bit of a half stroke, so I think coming in at 28.07, if she had finished that on that full stroke, she probably definitely would have broken down into that 27-second mark.
Yeah, all the best swimmers in the world, Sarah Sjostrom, you know, Emma McKeon, best fly swimmers in the world, they don't breathe in the 50 free, so that's where all these girls should be aspiring to get to.
Here's the quickest seated heat. Ellen Walsh back in the water after a long sojourn away from the sport. The 21-year-old from Temple Oak, back from Tennessee. She's in lane number 4. Orla McAndrew, her teammate, the 16-year-old, alongside her from Temple Oak, and Cora Rooney in 5 from Enniskillen. Oh, it's good from Walsh. Way ahead. 26.32. Wow. She's back.
Back with a bang.
Yeah, incredible swim there from Ellen, 26.32. You can see just from her underwater work, hitting 15 metres off both walls, and also that undulation on fly. She's a really, really strong leg kick, and it's really driving her forward on every single stroke, getting as much distance as she possibly can with that pull.
That's a good statement from a morning swim. Our Irish record is 26.1. So 26.32 is a good time for Walsh. Wonder will she go close to that record this evening in the final?
John,
yeah, it is, yeah.
It should be close, definitely.
Yeah, set that last year.
You can't see her there on screen, but she's walking out onto deck. She doesn't look phased, to be honest. She looks like she's really comfortable after that 50 swim. So maybe we're expecting great things now in the final.
Yeah, she had personal health problems throughout the year, I should say. It forced her to miss the European Championships. So this is her comeback meet, really. Back in Ireland as well. Ellen Walsh, fastest qualifier. Then into the women's 50 flies. We move it on to the men. And this is popular because we've got 9 heats. Away we go with the first of them.
Big flyer there. Lane 6. He'll know it.
You like spotting these disqualifications.
Yeah, well, he'll know it. Bit too excited on that one, but he's going on. Fair play to him.
He's still giving it socks, to be fair to him.
Van Rensburg of Trojan. You think he went early, yeah?
Oh, he definitely went early. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's registered the time at 27.74.
He's shaking his head. Oh, God help.
Yeah, he's gone. You're right. DQ'd. Yeah. Out. Went early.
Something I never got. Did he get disqualified? I never went early. Twitched on the block. Obviously, if he twitched on the block after say taker marks,
I've been disqualified once or twice competing over in Sweden. This isn't to big myself up, but my reaction time was actually quite quick off the blocks, and they didn't have the official reaction times coming off the blocks over there. So on every single first event that I swam in Uppsala in Stockholm, or sorry, in Sweden, they disqualified me because I thought my start time was too fast.
Too quick for them.
Too quick for them.
Irish Paralympic swimmer from Tokyo last year, Barry McClemens, closest to camera in lane 0 in the second heat of 9. A confirmation of DQ in the previous heat. The thing with swimming is that they'll start the race and they'll DQ you afterwards. It's not like athletics where you can get a yellow or red card. They used to hold up proceedings before this was introduced. No recall, just gets the swimmers in the water. He'd have known that he had jumped the start. Out in lane 8, Darry Hughes takes that win there, 27.05.
Good swim from him.
Yeah, great PB there from Darry Hughes. Second and a half drop off on a 50 fly. Absolutely incredible.
This looks like a PB for him. Personal best by a second and a half. That's pretty good over a 50. Only 16 years of age.
Yeah, 50 fly is a funny one. When I raced it, because I didn't race the 100 fly, you almost got to not try because you'll sip water. That's what I found in there. What about you? You had to like sort of not try, but sort of
stay as relaxed as possible.
Yeah, it was weird. It was different, very different to freestyle, I thought.
Definitely. I do know what you mean. I was like David and I were chatting about it yesterday in regards to particularly fly events. The more tense you are, the slower you're going to swim. You could be completely on form, but if you're not going in relaxed and just really, I don't know, just up for the race, but not trying too hard. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's difficult to explain. But yeah, you'd swim so much better if you went in relaxed.
Last couple of meters then of this heat. Griffin in a blanket finish. In lane 6 takes the victory. Second is Luke Woolley of Claire Morris, and then Aaron Peng of Tala. There you 1, 2, 3. Slightly slower than the previous heat actually. 27.33 compared to Hughes' 27.05. There will be a C, B and A final in this later on this evening. Again, to these pretty quickly. 50 fly, heat 4 of 9. progressively quicker as the seeded swimmers come in. Shane Ryan would see Irish record holder, two-time Olympian, in the final heat.
Got Sebastian Chilcott there in lane 5, so he took the 100 back roll off this morning, so maybe he's focusing more on his 50 fly. Turning off first there into that first wall. Really nice underwater from himself and the Hamilton swimmer.
Keane George went out quite quickly in lane 0. There he is, the blue cap closest to camera. Took second, did he? He did. 26.63 for him. The winner, though, Chilcott from the visiting Dubai club in 26.49. There's your result.
We're getting quicker now in these heats. Thomas Leggett of Larne, lane 4, young prospect, freestyle sprinter, known more for it. Obviously went to the European Junior Championships last year, or this year, sorry, I should say. Delving into the fly on this one.
It's good to see a decent crowd in here as well. We've had to, down the last couple of years, have swim meets with no crowds in because of COVID restrictions, but obviously there's a lot of squad members and family members here because over 500 swimmers are competing this week, but a decent crowd here at the NAC for the second day of competition. And we saw yesterday Daniel Whiffen go close to a world record, so there's a bit of interest in Irish swimming at the moment, plus that announcement this morning that they're going to host the European inaugural under-23 championships next year. That's the win for Thomas Leggett of Larne there. Yeah, 25.25, or 5.2 I should say. That's the first time we've seen a sub 26 seconds. So yeah, he looks a prospect, all right. He's only young. 16, is he?
He's 18. 18 coming on.
Yeah,
so he's
just out of the juniors.
Yeah, so I don't know if he swims fly that much, so they go hand in hand, the 53 and the 50 fly. So, you know, and the reason I swam it was, like India said, just to break the cobwebs, so and to have another event. So great start for him.
Splash and dash, huh?
Splash and dash.
Martin Bird in lane 3 decides to go down last, but they get away all in a line together, and no recall on this one as they hit the 25-meter mark. Bird from Portadown. Thomas O'Neill alongside him, the 18-year-old from the NAC, the local club here. O'Neill gets a 26.38.
Slightly slower than the last heat. Thomas Leggett's 25.5 with 26.3. O'Neill.
Well, the man in the red cap to your right hand side there. Keane Mason out in the outside lane from Kingdom. He'll be pleased with that swim.
26.4. Yeah, PB for him.
Michael Keogh in third.
Good swims all round. Still have 3 more heats. Definitely he's trying to pick up the pace here in the next heat. Coming down 26s for everyone, so be interesting to see the times we get.
So you've got Callum Bain in the next heat. Irish sprinter. Pulled out of the 100 final yesterday to focus on this, so.
Missing Morgan Berryman there in lane 4. Lauren Simmer.
Three more hits to bring you then in the 50 fly for men before we move to the women's 200 freestyle. They're missing lane 4. There's 2 lengths of the pool. The 2 swimmers on the outside lanes, lanes 0 and 9. John Mulhall and Ali Ryland from Coolmine.
Trojan, 0.
Wow. Well on John Mulhall in the outside smoker. You see him close to the camera. How does he finish? Yeah, finished well, brought the arms over, just got the tips of the fingers to the board first. And he wins that heat in 26.14. Adam Lynch in second place and Ewan McLeod from ESB in third. 2 heats to go.
Yeah, watch lane 4, Callum Bain. His start is phenomenal. So any young prospective swimmer watching, you know, watch how streamlined he enters the water, how little splash he'll make. Expect a big drop in time here.
Yeah, you can see the top of your screen there, the senior record of 22.80. That's Shane Ryan's time. The under 19 or the junior record is a 24.02. Bain is in 4 in this one. Charlie Eatwell, seen him yesterday, swimming in a few events. The 17-year-old from Ireland is alongside him. Oh, what a start. You call that one right, David. That is an incredible start. Just the start alone gives him a half a body length lead as he hit the 25-metre mark. That's a brilliant start from Bain. Pulled out of the 100 yesterday to concentrate fully on this. 22.80 is the Irish record. Shane Ryan holds that. He goes in the next heat. 23.37. More than a respectable morning swim. Bailey in second, O'Loughlin third.
He beat there actually from Callum Bain, so 23.46 was his entry time, coming in 23.37 for his heat, so really good swim. Like David was saying, any young swimmers watching this live stream, even just watching his stroke on fly is your stroke, literally going out in that first length just in 6 strokes and coming back on 7, so you can see that distance per stroke, that grab, amazing swim to watch.
Yeah, and I think even he was long into that turn as well. He could have definitely spotted that turn better, so you know, he'll know that more than anyone. He'll have known it when it happened, so a PB for him, got to take it. Fantastic stroke.
Just updating the page there to give you our final heat. And Shane Ryan, Irish record holder, 2-time Olympian, won the 50 back last night. Didn't swim his favourite event earlier on today, the 100 back, but just going for the short, sharp races, it seems. He's doing the 50 fly today. 22.80 is his entry time, and that's his Irish record, the 28-year-olds, in lane 4. Long glide, hands crossed on top of each other to get maximum out of the water as he turns at the 25-metre mark, and the class athlete, way ahead of the rest, grabbing the water with those big strong arms and spots the finish. 23.48. Yeah, it's actually slower than Callum Bain's time this morning. Looking forward to this final.
Yeah, going to be really, really tight. Shane there, obviously, probably cruising a wee bit. Similar to Callum, phenomenal start. Just leaps into the air, gets so much distance, almost enters the water at the 5-metre mark. Yeah, great skills. Obviously, Shane part of the ISL, you know, winning multiple short course events there. So you're one of the best short course swimmers in the world. So good to see him back after a rough few years actually now with his shoulder and a few bouts of coronavirus, and that'll be a great one tonight.
World University Games champion, bronze medalist at the Worlds. He's a top man. Shane Ryan, 2-time Olympian, as I mentioned as well, had his injury problems over the last couple of years. Hopefully he's now getting himself back into good shape for this Olympic cycle, which will end probably for him in Paris in 2014.
Even from that time there, you can just see his experience, like Dave was talking about Callum Bain, kind of just missing that last stroke coming in, so probably can time that a little bit better in the final. For Shane, clearly just all that experience, 50 after 50, hitting the wall perfectly every single time.
New event now, 200 freestyle, 4 heats for women. Opening heat. All juniors these. Lexi Dunn from Dolphins, only 13, and in lane 1, the rest of them spread across 14 and 15 years of age, including Emily Parkins of visiting Nova Centurion Club. She's in 4. In fact, it's scratched. Gave her the big build-up and looked up and saw she's not there.
I know you're more of a sprinter, David, but did you ever enjoy a 200 front crawler?
Enjoy, no, but yeah, I used to do it. Probably stopped racing it in 2015-ish, so I'm a short course more than long course.
What technique would we be looking for here then a 200 front crawl? What kind of tactics would you take out yourself?
200 freestyle. So obviously I trained with Jordan Sloan and Jack McMillan, you know, two of the best freestylers in the country at the time. And it was all about, from talking to them, they said, you know, that first 100 has to be very, very controlled, fast, but very, very controlled. And then that third 50 is when you got to go for it. You got to go to the legs on the third 50. So, you know, so these girls will have trained that. They're 200 paces. Probably a wee bit different for different swimmers. If you're, like I said yesterday about the 100 free, if you're the likes of a Victoria Catterson, who we'll see in a few heats time, she swims down on the, you know, down from the 200 free to the 100 free. So her more specialty is sort of the back end of the race, whereas Danielle Hill's more of a sprinter. So her advantage will be the front end. So it's about playing to your advantages, and some of these 200 swimmers will be coming down from the 400, so their advantage will be more of the back end. And some of the swimmers, if they're more of 100, 200, you know, they're going to have to take it out a bit harder. I know Jordan used to have to take it out a lot harder because speed was his thing. We had to take it out. So yeah, interesting to see, but I think a long stroke, and especially in that third 50, you've got to up the rate and sort of hang on for the last 50.
Got some young swimmers here in Heat 1, aging between 13 and 15, but we've got Rachel Marshall, 15 from Trojan Swimming Club, coming in strong into this last 25. Her time is a 2:12.10, so I think she'll just be hitting that bang on now.
Irish Olympian Melanie Knocker holds the Irish record of a 1:57.29. Rachel Marshall wins that heat in lane number 3, lane 5 in second place. Clara Doherty. 4 heats, CBA finals later on this evening.
It's funny, 200 freestyle's almost progressed to a sprint now as opposed to a middle distance event. You know, it used to sort of be coupled in with the 2 and 400, but now it's sort of 100, 200 more. So, you know, especially in these later heats, you'll see some of those girls just going out after it and hanging on.
Now the 200 for the men, that they called it the race of the century, even though it was only in 2004. So
yeah.
the century is only 4 years
old.
old. Van den Hogenberg and Phelps and Thorpe.
Yeah.
In Athens.
Great race.
Seemed like an awful long time ago as well. 12 years.
And Phelps had another 3 or 4 meters, he'd have won it.
That's John Rudd getting in the way of our camera there. That's the high performance coach taking his seat.
Were you out in Athens for that race?
I was, yeah. Did commentary on it for radio.
Outdoors, wasn't it?
Outdoors. Baking hot in Athens.
Was it?
Baking hot.
Was it summer? Was it
right in the middle of summer. It was August. And we only had the 2 Irish swimmers there, Emma Robinson and Michael Williamson.
Michael Williamson, yeah.
Yeah, just the 2 Irish. It's one of the smallest contingent of Irish swimmers we've ever seen. Wasn't in a healthy state then, Irish swimming.
No. That was sort of Michael Phelps' breakthrough, wasn't it?
Huge, yeah, it was. But there was a huge hype about it. Huge hype about that race of the century. But the three of the best 200 swimmers you've ever seen in your life.
Thorpe won it. 1:44.4.
Yeah. Hasn't been in the best of health in the last while, Ian Thorpe. Personal mental health problems as well.
High level sport.
High level sport, yeah. Found it difficult, as I was alluding to you earlier on about when the fun stops and your main sport stops, how do you cope with it? And I'm afraid that Ian hasn't coped with it very well.
I think he was thrust into the spotlight as a 15-year-old, from Sydney.
Yeah. Especially with Australian swimming, when you're
huge.
It's big. Here it's very much a minority sport.
Yeah.
But in Australia, Thorpe was a huge name back in those days.
Yeah, so and you're not taught how to deal with that at that level, how to deal with the fame and,
Oh, I think it's better these days. I think
these
both of you understand it as well, is that when you come out of go into retirement or whatever, there's better sports structures now, and more people to talk to. And if you're not feeling well, go and do talk to somebody. But the structures probably weren't in place back then. Rosalie Phelan's taking that win there in a 2:06, incidentally. Cormorant, Port Marnock and NRS 123 there. Midway through this 200.
Danielle Hill giving the 200 a go here, out in lane 7, this next heat.
Oh, she's a busy program for Danielle Hill.
Better her than me.
Yeah, I saw her in a relay earlier on today as well.
And the 100 back.
Yeah, and the 100 back, her
100
favourite
back as
one.
well.
Yeah, it's her third event. Lane 4 absent.
Yeah, lane 4 absent, so Isla McIntosh of Hamilton is missing. So got that open lane beside Grace Davison, 15-year-old from Ards. And then again, Danielle Hill coming in lane 7. Should be an interesting race.
In lane 7, Danielle Hill has got the early lead by just by about a head. Lane 5, inside of her is Grace Davidson from Ards. Davidson leads on that turn, 28.18. Hill is second. Kellyanne Brown is third from the local NAC club. 200 is about pacing, really, isn't it? I suppose you look at 200 fly, you might say the first half of the race you might want to just go out hard and try and hold on, but 200 is a very tactical kind of race, and there's a lot of pacing in it.
I think so. So back when myself and Dave were swimming, I think 200 front crawl was about, taking it out in that first 100, again, taking it out more relaxed, probably going around 95%, and then really kicking in on the third 50. But like David said, it has started to evolve a little bit. It's turning into a bit more of a sprint race. So you can see with some people, they're really taking it out hard on that first 100, changing up a little bit on the stroke rate, like going a little bit faster on that stroke rate in the third 50, but really just keeping that leg kick going as fast as you can. So I think the 200 front crawl has changed over recent years, but as you can see there, lane 5, we've got Grace Davison. She's staying nice and strong with that stroke rate, so keeping the kick strong, but breathing every 2. So yeah, this is the technique I'm guessing she's taken out on this one, staying nice and strong, staying nice and relaxed, and just finding that final space for this evening.
Molly McLaurin's coming into the picture in lane 3. Hill is third. That's Grace Davison's only 15 years of age from Ards. Her entry time of 2:02.83. Should go under that, or even close to it. Can be just outside. 2:02.7. Grace Davison, then Molly McLaurin. Good back half of the race for her. Hill in third.
Yeah, these girls just getting the job done, just getting into the final. You saw they're bringing the legs, especially on that last, going to your legs in the last sort of 50 metres is vital, because all your legs want to do is just give up. You've got to keep the leg kick going. If you keep your leg kick going, that will actually help your rate, So, final heat coming, Victoria Catterson, lane 4. Naomi Trait, UCD in lane 5 as well.
Victoria Catterson, only one coming in underneath that 2-minute mark for the 200 free, so down as a 1:57.91. And again, Naomi Trait beside her, lane 5, 19-year-old from UCD, 2:02.23.
It's a final heat then of the women's 200 freestyle. Morris O'Shea Farrell, Slosson of the City of Leeds, the 17-year-olds, is in lane 3. Victoria Catterson, European swimmer, Irish international from Ards, is in lane number 4. Naomi Trait of UCD in 5, then Laura Thompson, City of Leeds in 6. McAndrew of Temple Oak, Bailey, New Ross, Ava Jones, the 14-year-old from Warnock is in the outside lane. Lane 9, 8 lengths of the pool. Final heat, 200 free for women.
Yeah, similar kind of strokes actually. Catterson in lane 4, the lead swimmer. Maria Slosson in lane 3. Sort of long, sort of winding strokes. Victoria, very experienced, will know exactly what she needs to do here to get through to the final. I know our coach Kevin Anderson at the National Centre Ulster works a lot on pacing with her, like you said, John. It's all about pacing, knowing what the pacing feels like. knowing what, especially in this third 50, what that feels like, that feeling of, okay, my lactate is at this, my heart rate's at this, I'm feeling like this, but I know exactly what pace I need to be at. So,
like you said, she is more of a back-end swimmer, so you can kind of see that now. She is starting to pick up the pace a little bit, but we've got Orla McAndrew as well from Templeogue, the 16-year-old. She's holding on strong out in lane 7. And then the 17-year-old Leah from City of Leeds just holding on to Victoria on her shoulders.
Taking the lead from the off, Victoria Caddison. Instead of 25 minutes to go at the end of this. This is their final heat then of the 200. Leah Slosson of Leeds alongside her in the yellow cap. Caddison just having a look at Slosson, breathing to her left-hand side, 5 meters to go. Slosson tries to put in a sprint finish, but it's Caddison who wins in a 2 minutes, 01.27 seconds. Trait says they're lane 5, but it actually...
yeah, did they get registered again?
It's Slosson who actually finishes in second.
Just faster than that. It's all safely through though.
Yeah, it's confirmation of that result. Caddison, Slosson, Trait was in third. The women's done and dusted. We're going to move on to the men's. They have 6 heats, 3 swimmers in the opening heat. Mark Saranac, we saw him earlier on today in the 400 IM. He's a glutton for punishment. He's going in lane 4 of heat 6. 27 years of age. A lot of these swimmers will double up, treble up indeed in different events across the week and beyond. He's in lane 4 of heat 6.
Has a good swimmer beside him there though, Evan Bailey, 17-year-old from New Ross. So hopefully that will keep him in check, even though he is putting himself through punishment with the amount of races that he's doing.
This is heat 1. Some of the slower entered swimmers. Joe Greaves is in lane 3. 19-year-old from Nova Centurion. That's one of our visiting clubs. Mark Gill is from Trojan in Dublin, 15-year-old. And up from New Ross, it's Donica McCarthy. He goes in lane 5.
Good start from the 3 lads. You can see what breathing technique they're going to take out from the start. So majority of them breathing 1 and 2, staying nice and strong. We've got lane 4 though, Mark Gill. He's going 1 and 4. I think that's going to be difficult enough to keep up throughout the entire 200. Dropping down to a 1 and 3 pace now. So maybe he's taking out the first 100 nice and fast, like myself and Dave were talking about earlier. Just really attacking that first 100 and then holding on for the second 100 too.
Usually you get in the 200, you can see they'll come into the wall, glide into the wall and then push off it and give a quick 6-speed kick as they head down the pool and then get back into that rhythm again. You'll see just the kick off the wall here as they emerge. There you go. It's a good battle actually between these 3 in this opening heat. Using the legs for guidance at the moment until they hit the wall and then kick off it. Push away. Get that kick going. And then back into that rhythmic freestyle. And have 25 minutes to go, 50 meters to go at the end of this leg in the men's 200. It's McCarthy who leads. Greaves in second, Gill in third.
Very close, they're sort of swimming off each other. Happens a lot in these heats. You know, you pick a swimmer sometimes and just try and stick with them. Brings out the best in all swimmers, so it's like a New Ross swimmer in lane 5. Laying down the gauntlet, look at the leg kick.
He's just trying to get inside that 2 minute. Can he do it? No, just outside.
He could have gone earlier. He started that big leg kick, up that rate earlier.
He looks a little disappointed he hasn't done the 2 minute. Yeah.
Donica has been having a good meet though so far. He's been swimming well up until today, and another PB from him there. So 2:01.16 coming in at 2:03.59. Like you said, probably could have taken that leg kick out just a little bit earlier and probably could have broken that 2 minute mark. But again, 15 years old, probably just needs that little bit more race experience. And yeah, definitely looks like a good future swimmer.
No, he's well capable of sub 2 minutes, no doubt.
It's all about knowing when to go, when to really start to sprint at the end. I was talking to Daniel Whiffen yesterday, and he felt he could have gone earlier. He could have, started to sprint out a 50 or so earlier. So
amazing to think that he actually felt that he was sloppy at times, and some of his turns were
I know.
poor. And he's close to a world record.
it's scary.
Heat 2 then. A couple of swimmers from Ennis in 1 and 2, and Sean O'Connor and Oisin O'Grady. Temple Oak represented in lane 4 by Andrew Mullen, and the brother Robert in lane 6. Michael O'Driscoll the outside lane for Sunday as well.
Some bigger leg kicks here in the first 50 usually. Boys get excited, go for it before they settle down into their rhythm. Oh, but nice rate in lane 5 there. Luca Parr. Nice wee rhythm. He's taking it out. He'll see he's far ahead of the boys next to him, so that's a bit of feel good for him. Nothing better than when you're swimming and you've got clear water each side of you.
Especially when you know you're swimming in that clear water. He's still attacking those turns quite well as well, so still kicking about 3 or 4 kicks under the water. That might start to reduce down now as the oxygen depletion starts to kick in, but his leg kick is still going strong in lane 5.
Yeah, it begins to hurt now. That turn at 125. It's so important. It's this part of the race where swimmers can sort of begin to ease off because they're sort of subconsciously saving themselves for that last 50, but you need to keep the hammer down.
Yeah, you probably know yourself, David, it's difficult once you start to reduce that speed to try and pick it back up again for that 450. You can't get it back up. So slowing down too much is you're going to struggle to finish off that 450.
Yeah, lane 3, Ashley Weaver coming through now. Maybe Luca Parra just out a bit too quick. Paying for it on the back end. Great finish in lane 3 there. Yeah, sub 2 minutes, good man.
Yeah, well done, Longford swimmer Ashley Weaver. Don't get a lot of Longford swimmers performing at this kind of high level. But well done to him, and that was quite a convincing heat win for him too. And he'd be well happy going sub 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. First time you do it, I remember when I did it in the Galway pool years ago. 159.
Galway was always a great pool to swim in, to be honest. I always felt that was a really fast pool.
Galway, yeah, years ago. Is it still there? It's gone there. Yeah, 159 for him.
Yeah, 1 or 2 getting out of the pool quite gingerly. It's a tough event, 200. And as you've been saying, David, it's become more of a sprint event rather than more of a tactical race than we used to over the last couple of years, so it's tough.
Sorry.
Heat 3 of 6, 200 free from men. Daniel Harvey from Ards. Hansberger Hamilton in 1. Daniel Walker, Nova Centurion in 2. Splashwood Sharks have their 15-year-old Sergei Riznichenko in lane number 3. Then Norris Switzer from Dolphin. Matthew Hamilton of Lisburn. Ollie Brennan of Coolmine. Emmett Cousins from New Ross. It's Nathan Chakia from Malta in lane number 8. And then the banker swimmer Alexander Newman's in lane number 9. 8 lengths to the pool. This is the 3rd of 6 heats in the 200 freestyle. All of these junior or underage swimmers.
Yeah, we have a few more swimmers in this heat breaking that 2 minute mark. So we're coming up on the first 100 now. Should be looking to turn around at 56, 57 if they want to be breaking that 2 minute mark. So we've got lane 3 here turning in first, coming in on a 56.78. So hopefully he should be able to keep that going. Should actually be well under the 2 minute mark, coming in on a 56.78 if he can keep that pace up.
Yeah, he's absolutely attacked it. Lane 3, Riznichenko. He went for it. I noticed his rate in that first 50 was through the roof, so he's going to have to hang on, keep the legs going. Well, as you say on a 200, if you gas yourself, if you get too excited in that first 50, you will pay for it. And it's a long last 75-50 when you're hurting that much, let me tell you.
Ollie Brennan has the lead in lane 6, and Hosberger.
Field passing him now. Top of your pool, actually. A few swimmers. It looks like lane 1. Yeah, well under.
Yeah, close finish. But it is our visiting swimmer, Hansberger, who wins it. Ollie Brennan relegated to second. Chaki is third.
Great to see a few swimmers. Obviously, their first time under 2 minutes. Seeing them splash in the water.
I think Rizinchenko there must have just taken it a little bit too fast, coming back in on a 2:02, going out first in that 56.7. So probably feeling quite sore now after touching the wall coming in on 2:02.
Love to see that though. Go for it. Pay the price, sure. Interesting, yeah, you said, John, different tactics, you know. Some swimmers can go out like that and hang on and it creates such a gap that they can't be caught, and then some swimmers like to just sort of hold off, but somewhere in the middle where by finding that sweet spot of sort of easy sprinting, easy speed. It's called easy speed, where you're flying but you don't feel like you're sprinting.
A Maltese swimmer in lane 3, and then 2 Hamilton Aquatics from Dubai swimmers alongside Sean James Waring in Safi and Chilcott in lanes 4 and 5. We're on to the 4th heat now of 6 in the men's 200 free.
Yeah, drop in time coming in for this 4th heat, so we're kind of sticking around the 1:59 2-minute mark, but majority of the time's coming in here around 1:55 to 1:56. So looking for a faster first 100 split. Even enough field at the moment. Lane 1, the UCD swimmer looking strong with that Hamilton swimmer in lane 4.
Yeah, again, we've said it before, but the turn's so important, you know? Like, it's short course to long course, so different, this event. You know, if you can carry your momentum into the turn, like, don't decelerate into the turn, accelerate, and come off that wall, because you're not swimming for that long, really, before you get a turn. So, you know, I trained with a swimmer in England who was a 1:43 short course, but then the long course he couldn't get under 1:50. So it just shows you how, and he had great turns. So it just shows you that if you work in your turn, short course, you'll drop serious time.
Great first 100 split there in lane 4, so we're going out in a 54.54. So looking for some fast times here. He seems to be holding on to that pace, coming back in on a 29 on that third 50.
Yeah, he's hanging on well. He said he took it out, but he's got the fitness to hang on. But lane 2, Riddle.
Visiting swimmer takes it, but good swim from Ben Riddle as well. Last 25 was some trying to hunt down the leader, didn't quite get to him. You can see him there in the dark cap in lane 2, glides into the finish, takes second place.
Yeah, Ben Riddle, coached by Curtis Coulter, my old teammate of ours. A good swim for him, I'm sure that's a PB.
Two to go then this morning in this 200 freestyle for men. And we've got 5 heats to bring in the women's 200 freestyle. A couple of 200s to bring in then in breaststroke for men and women. Busy program today on day 2. Got 6 heats for the men, including Owen Corby. And then we've got a set of mixed 200-meter medley relays to wrap up proceedings in this first session of 3 today. We've got 1500s to come a little later on. And then the finals this evening at 5 o'clock our time. Finn McKeever, one of the favourites here in lane number 4 from Limerick. Jack McMillan holds the Irish record. The Olympian, part of the Irish 4x200 freestyle relay team that went to Tokyo. 1:42 is his time. Jack not involved here.
McGeever sort of taking it out. He's involved down there in that 400 medley, so tough double, 400 free, or 400 medley, sorry, in the 200 freestyle, not easy. He's taking it out well. It's the best way sometimes, take the race to the others, see if they're with you.
Catch me if you can,
yeah,
says McKeever.
This is the key length as well here. Just don't decelerate on this length, don't save yourself. Finn, I'd imagine maybe just trying to either set a time for tonight, or don't know if he'll be focusing on both tonight, or what will happen in the 400 medley or the 200 free, or certainly good enough to do both, but tough double.
Both swimmers having an eye at each other in the last 25. Dubai swimmer breathing to his left, going down that pool, keeping an eye on McKeever. McKeever, likewise. He'll have enough in hand to win this heat and win it comfortably in the end. And 1:48.77, good time. That's a good time for a morning swim. Saba in second, and Thomas Leggett up to third.
Yeah, great swim there by Finn. Just slightly above his PB, going out at 52.55 and coming back on about a 56. So really strong, really confident swim there in the 200 free. And like David said, already swam the 400 IM, so he's looking well for the heat final session this evening.
Finn sporting a moustache there. Shave that off, mate. You'll go faster.
November's over, isn't it?
November's over,
November, yeah.
He must like it so much he's kept it.
Tom Selleck like.
Yeah. Speed bump on your.
We saw Saranac involved this morning, and now he's back in for another demanding swim, 200. The Scottish man, NCAA champion from 2017. Commonwealth Games medalist as well. Saranac going in 4, Pfeiffer in 0, Lacavini in 1, Walsh Hussey, then Evan Bailey, Saranac in 4. And it's Danny Morgan, Tom Truman, Daniel Kennedy, Matthew Galea of Malta, and Charlie Cassidy, the 17-year-old from Dolphins, up at the top of the picture there in lane number 9. And true to form, it's Saranac who leads at the 50.
Yep, taking it out again, taking it to the rest of the field, just like he did on the medley, so yeah, I assume he'll be coasting this one just to get through it. Big leg kick though, so maybe he's going for it to. Looks like he's kind of going for it actually. So.
Yeah, great.
Flipping at a 50.8, he is going for it. Yeah. So maybe trying to post the time, pull out later, maybe focus on the medley. He's going for it. 50.8 to your feet.
He's not hanging around here, is he?
Great turns. Look at that. Almost to 10 meters.
He hasn't really dropped off yet, to be honest. Look at that leg kick, it's still going. Amazing.
So turns in a 1:18.00. Yeah, we're looking at maybe a 1:40, 1:45 here, potentially. Faster, 1:44. So you can bring it home fast enough.
Yeah, I mentioned McMillan's record's a 1:42. He won't break that, but
he'll go up here.
He'll go close. It's a very good morning swim for him too, and considering the amount of swims he's put on together in the last couple of days on the 400 IM this morning, finishing now in this final heat of the men's 200 and 1:45.09. Yeah, he went for that all right. Just to test himself in the water. Evan Bailey and then Walsh Hussey in third, 1, 2, 3. He'll be the fastest qualifier into the ninth final at 1:45.
Yeah, it's fantastic swim there, especially after a 400 medley.
Yeah, you called it there, David. 1:45.09, absolutely incredible PB from him there. And like we said, just never seemed to fall off with that leg kick. Kept his stroke rhythm, stroke rate the same throughout. So be able to do that after 400 IM this morning, yeah, absolutely incredible swim. Do you think
It's
he's
the
done
last
that, David, just
individual.
to reduce down on the 200, or like not swim the 200 this evening and focus on the
Yeah, I
400?
mean, I'd be shocked if he races that tonight, to be honest,
Yeah.
considering how much effort he put in there. So maybe he sort of entered both events because he wanted time, so he maybe coasted the 400 medley and then sprinted the 200 free, and then so he's got his 200 free time, and then he just swims the 400 medley tonight. I'd be shocked. Maybe he will, but I'd be shocked if he does race that tonight.
I was just about to say there, we've got two more disciplines, one more individual discipline to come, and that's the 200 breaststroke for men and women. Then we go to that last of the relays to wrap up the morning's swim here, and that's heat 1 of 5 for the women, and it's 3 swimmers. Longford, Trojan, Longford. Slowest heat on seated entry time. They're around a 150 swimmers. 250 swimmers. These 3. As they hit the water, it's Julia Warchel of Longford 14, Abril Allende from Trojan in 4, and then Rena McCormack of Longford, 15 years of age, in lane number 5. And it's the opening heat of the women's 200 breaststroke.
A very different event, even though it's a 200 to the 200 freestyle. Different kind of pacings. All about staying extremely smooth. A lot of great 200 breaststrokers actually will. I know good friends with Andrew Bree, Daniel Sweeney, great 200 breaststrokers of this country, and their best 200 breaststroke time, the first 100 was almost equivalent to their 100 PB. So it's all about setting that rhythm up and being so fresh and so smooth that almost you feel like you're not trying. So different in the sense that the freestyle we were saying is more of a sprint. Breaststroke's definitely all about power. It's all about timing. Because obviously when you begin to hurt in breaststroke, there's so much resistance with each breath, your chest coming out of the water, that if you're not streamlined, if you're not controlled, you'll really pay for it. So
a lot of the power and propulsion as well comes from the legs.
Yeah, massively.
80% of your forward propulsion, if you're a breaststroker, technically it's your legs. It's the one that's the most. The arms are pretty much for guidance, and especially with breaststroke as well, people think that you actually have to pull to the side. It doesn't. You pull down.
Yeah.
So and it's short and sharp, but the legs are the one that gives you that propulsion at the back.
Yeah, your leg kick is what's going to keep your rhythm, to be honest, on breaststroke here. Interesting style from 2 different swimmers, lane 4 and lane 3. So lane 3 definitely took it out, much higher stroke rate that she's going in for now. So maybe she's feeling the pain coming in. But lane 4, keeping with that stroke rate, really gliding on every single stroke. And you can see that that's coming from her leg kick. So every time she kicks, she's driving straight into that glide. So it is the kick that's keeping her rhythm throughout.
And the object of the exercise as well with the hands is to get them up out of the water as quickly as you possibly can and down into the water as well to get that forward momentum. This is the last 25. There's just 3 swimmers in this opening heat. Rena McCormack of Longford has nearly 2 lengths body advantage from the rest of the field now. Trying to go sub 250, can she do that? Just outside.
Good swim. Tough event stroke course because of all the turns and the amount you're under the water. You're having to hold your breath, especially at the end. With that underwater pull out, you want to try and maximize that, but only in conjunction with sort of what oxygen debt you're in.
Especially when you have a lot of your muscle mass coming into your legs, and when you're using your leg drive so much on breaststroke, the more oxygen depletion that you're in, you're really going to feel really heavy coming into that last 50, particularly on a 200 breaststroke.
This is our second heat then. Having had 3 in the first, we now got 10 in the second, using all our 10 lanes here from lane 0 close to the camera to 9 on the far side. 0's got Lexi Dunn, 13-year-old from Dolphin. And another swimmer who's 13 years of age in the outside lane, Ellie Dunlop from Enniskillen.
Hannah McMaster there, lane 4. Very sort of jerky sort of stroke, real purpose to it. Comes out quite high, but you know, as she puts the head down and drives forward, you know, everything's moving forwards. So she tucks that head in really nice between the arms. Like John said, it's all from the legs, so the arms sort of guide you and help you sort of streamline. But the legs is what pops your stroke through, each stroke.
Yeah, you can really see that leg drive from lane 2, Jessica Purcell, 14-year-old from Aer Lingus. You can see that that kick is really driving her into that arm stroke. Again, dropping her head into that streamlined position.
Yeah, and that hand to feet speed in the turn here. You know, you want to. Some swimmers here, sort of as they touch, they're sort of like almost climbing up the wall. You want to avoid that. You want to touch the wall, tuck your knees into your chest, and turn. As opposed to climbing up the wall, you want to just turn the head back quick. So important short course because there's 7 of the turns, as opposed to long course when there's only 3. Almost like a different sport.
Jessica Purcell leads them through at the halfway mark. 1:18.7. McMaster in 4, and in lane 8, Georgina Walker.
Yeah, like you're saying, David, there about your turns as well. You'll start to notice as they start to fatigue coming into the second 100 that they're not getting as much propulsion out of that first pull. So their breakout is actually coming up right at the top of the surface, so their head is breaking before they finish that last pull out. So definitely working on that and staying with the water and getting as much grasp on the water as they can on that last breakout. It's really going to improve their 200 breaststroke time.
50 to go. That's the important thing from breaststroke swimming, especially on the 200, is to keep the stroke as long as you possibly can. If you start short of the stroke, it's called spinning in the water, and you can lose considerable amount of time, and it does happen in the last back half of the race when you start to get tired. So just trying to keep it long here, our leader. Seems to be doing it so successfully. 25 to go.
It's that fine balance between up in the rate and not slipping the water, as John said. Because as you get tired, your arms feel extremely light. You don't feel like you're not catching as much water, so you have to keep that length and keep the catch. But lane 2 swimmer here, Aer Lingus swimmer, good swim.
Technically quite good, actually. There's a nice long glide, and didn't take too much out of her.
14-year-old, 5-second PB.
Yeah, that's good. You can't tell forward progression, and that certainly is forward progression for our winner there, Jessica Purcell from Aer Lingus.
Seeing lots of best times, aren't we?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of PBs in the morning, which is great. It's confirmation of the winning time of 2:45. Walker in second place, McMaster in third. These some of the slower heats. It's 2 down of 5. This is heat 3. Was Kelly in 0. Walker from Banbridge, her teammate alongside her. 2 15-year-olds in lane 0 and 1. Jane Ryan, Michelle O'Shea from Dolphin. Trojan swimmer Ellie Campbell, 15-year-old, is in lane 4. Amy Noble from Asgard is in 5. Then Ellie Lund of the NAC in 6. Chloe Dable of Nova Centurion, and alongside her in 8, it's Ava McNamara. The New Ross swimmer, Kasodi Nagy, Laura Kasodi Nagy in lane number 9.
Strong start there from the 15-year-old Ellie Campbell from Trojan Swimming Club. So really setting the pace here. Nice glide coming into every single stroke.
Just to note the different head positions. Some swimmers very high head positions, some very, very low. You know, so you need to sort of keep that head a bit lower and tuck it down in between. You can't be having any unnecessary movements of the head.
Ava McNamara in the red cap, top of the picture, has decided that she's going to take this out hard and strong over the first 50% of the race and see if she can cling on. The centre lane should start to come through now in the back half of the race, but she led them through at the 100. She's starting to slip water a little bit now as Ellie Campbell in lane 4 is trying to hunt her down. So still going strong, McNamara, top of the picture. And that red cap is battling for the lead now between herself and Campbell. In fact, it's not Campbell, it's Amy Noble, my apologies, from Asgard, who's in lane 5. And the green cap below her is Eddie Campbell. And Campbell's down in 5th. Noble has a slight lead from McNamara. Miss Kelly in 3rd in lane 0, closest to camera. Outside
having a good
Smoker.
race too, lane 0. Staying the Banbridge swimmer. Coming through quite well actually at the end here.
Yeah, I think Miss Kelly's put herself through a grueling program, to be honest, this weekend. She seems to be swimming well in every event that she's gone into. I'd say she's done about 4 or 5 events so far.
Amy Noble, Asgard, as John said, 2:43.0. Taking the win, sort of went out and just didn't look back.
Good PB for there as well, so
PB,
it's nice
yeah.
to be able to swim at 200 breaststroke, I'm sure, with those legs feeling nice and heavy to finish off with a PB. Second PB for there.
Yeah, tough event. Tough event. Penultimate heat now. Molly Main in lane 4. Temple Oak swimmer, swims out of Hamilton Aquatics in Dubai. Saw her yesterday pick up that silver medal in the 100 medley. Phenomenal around the walls. Just purpose to every stroke, purpose to every turn.
Penultimate heat, 4 of 5. It's Jackson Oates in 0. Niamh Connery, alongside her in 1. Isabel Kidney. Beth Gardner, Molly Main, who you've mentioned, from Temple Oak, is in 4. Ciara Fletcher, Nova Centurion, in 5. Amy McAuliffe of Malta in 6. Ava Jones, Portmarnock. Then Lucia O'Brien, Limerick. And Nova Centurion, represented by their 3rd swimmer. It's Philippa Hickman out in lane number 9. We got one more heat to bring you after this.
Looks like Molly Main's really going for it on this first 100, staying really strong. You can see how high she comes up in the water to get that drive forward, really getting as much distance per stroke. But she looks like, yeah, she's really going for a good time in this heat swim.
Yeah, just great stroke. Look how much intent there is on the kick. So each kick, she drives the body down and she's very streamlined with each glide. The glutes fire, the heels come together. And even on that turn there, how low she stays to the water, chin just above the water. So if you're watching, even though she's young, she's got great skills.
She's hitting the wall perfectly every time as well, so it's like she's timing this stroke every single time, keeping pretty much the same stroke count on every 25.
She'll know exactly her stroke counts per length. What John said earlier about Andrew Bree winning that medal, European Championships in the early 2000s, 2002, 2003?
2003.
3. Andrew said he knew exactly, he could have done it with his eyes closed. He knew exactly how many strokes to take on each length. He trained it, so all these swimmers will be similar.
Like you said, we've had some brilliant 200 breaststrokers come through the Irish history past. Andrew Bree, Nick Quinn, Dara Green, but
So
200 breaststroke seems to be a real highlight for Irish swimming.
Barry Murphy as well before.
Barry Murphy, exactly.
Yeah.
Alex Murphy is also
Alex Murphy, yeah.
he had a bronze medal at the European Short Course Championships too. So
And on the female side, you have Mona and
yeah.
Fiona Doyle before
You
her.
can go back to Gary O'Toole,
Yeah.
winning a silver medal at the European Championships back in 1989 in Bonn. That was our first major medal and it was a breaststroke.
89.
Huh?
89.
89, I was there. Molly Main wins that anyway, 2:24.21.
Great PB from her there, 2-second drop off from her time this morning, so you could see she was really going for a good time on her heat swim. Still looking comfortable, still looking strong. So well done to Molly.
Yeah, the same Gary O'Toole is going to give me a new knee in January.
Is he doing it?
Yeah, he's doing it. The man I trust.
You got a freebie, are you?
Molly Main wins it. Beth Gardner in second place and Ciara Fletcher in third. Main is the fastest qualifier thus far, but we're going to the last heat now, and this features in lane 4 the Irish record holder, 2:21.9, 21-year-old Niamh Coyne. She's in 4. Megan Jones in 0, then Beth Nolan, Doran, Kirsha Coyne, Ellie McCartney alongside her. In lane number 5, then Emer Doyle from Limerick. Maya Galea of Malta. Then we got Hannah McCabery of Lurgan, and Leah Connell, 15 years of age from Athlone, is out in lane number 9. 8 lengths of the pool. And it's really distinctive bobbing kind of style you get from Niamh Coyne, silver medalist at the Youth Olympics back in 2018 in Buenos Aires. Some may feel that she hasn't actually fulfilled the potential she showed back those 4 years ago. She's still only 21 years of age. And I just wonder where her career is going to go. It hasn't really moved it on. We've seen that Mona McSharry certainly has, from winning at the Youth Olympics gold medal in 2017 in breaststroke to make an Olympic final. Just wonder where Niamh is going to go with her career.
Yeah, I mean, it's just maybe not reached the height she would have wanted to, but you know, still a very successful swimmer, and like we all know, swimming's never linear for the majority
Well,
of
she
swimmers.
was considered the next great hope, really, wasn't she, a couple of years ago, Niamh Coyne? It just really hasn't gone on.
Yeah, I think the change of coaches, maybe COVID. You know, there's certain things. Changing coach, Ben Hickson left the National Centre in Dublin, did a great job there. So, you know, people progress at different stages. You know, obviously, you've got when you're racing against Mona McSharry, an Olympic finalist, the competition is tough, but hopefully she can set up a good short course season here and take her into long course.
Mona's event is the 100. It's a good race between the front two. Ellie McCartney alongside in lane number 5.
I swam with Ellie at the National Centre Ulster my last year competing. Very, very hard worker. Came on leaps and bounds. So good PB yesterday in the 100 breast.
Yeah, I was going to say she looked really strong on that 100 breaststroke yesterday, and she seems to be transferring it over here to the 200 breaststroke, really staying on Niamh Coyne's shoulders coming into the last 50 metres or the last 25 metres here.
All about who wants it more. Will they put down a marker for a morning swim? McCartney upping her stroke rate. Coyne keeping it much more long. She should just have enough to hold on here. It depends on the glide to the finish. Coyne just holds on. And a 2:29.5, a very close race, just 0.3 of a second between the front two. Enjoy that. Coyne, McCartney, Emer Doyle in third. And that's a good one. That was the last heat then, heat 5 down on the women's 200 breaststroke. Moving on to the men's. We've got 6 heats of that, and then we'll have a set of relays to wrap it up the morning programme.
Yeah, all the swimmers will be safely through. Niamh and Ellie, definitely. So they'll be looking to drop in the final. No breaststrokes, one of those we were talking yesterday about 200 fly. You can drop a lot from heats to finals. You were saying yesterday, and you know, it's one of those events where it's so much power and a lot more anaerobic associated with it, probably. So, you know, being fresh and being a bit more up for it in the final with the lights and stuff could really help.
Yeah, I think a lot of these girls in this event, they've swam previous events as well. So I guess it's about maybe just good timing, good recovery now this evening, seeing which race I guess they're going to focus on. But yeah, 200 breaststroke, just like the 200 fly, you can really take a good bit of time off, change it up, not changing up your race tactics, but just kind of knowing where you're going to really push in hard on the 200 in the final session as well. So we've got some got some good swimmers going in. I know we've got Molly Main going in first, but it'll be a good race between herself, Niamh Coyne and Ellie McCartney now in the final session.
On to the men's 200 breaststroke. Six heats. On Corby, big medal favourite here, goes in the last of the heats.
Dara Green as well, competing. I think he's in heats. Let me see. He's in the penultimate heat.
Yeah, more of a 100 specialist though, isn't he, Dara? Two is.
Yeah, well, is he the long course record holder on the 200?
I think it's Oisin Cook, has it?
I think it's Dara. I think it's Dara.
Is it Dara?
Yeah, he took Andrew Bree's record a few years ago in Beijing. Well, I think in more recent years, John, you're right. It's more than 100.
Oisin, yeah, I'm right. Yeah, Oisin Cook at 2:06.8.
That's a short course, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a short course. Yeah. A short course is quicker than the 50-meter pool.
Yes, in breaststroke it's considerably faster. I think the record is 2:10. Long course, 2:06.
In and around 2:10.
Course.
When you consider we're talking about Gary O'Toole there, he won in a 2:15.78. So it just shows you the progression.
Yeah.
In fact, the 2:10 around that time was a world record. Mike Barrowman.
Mike Barrowman of America,
and Nick Gillingham.
Nick Gillingham. Kidajima came along, the Japanese, and he brought it under, didn't he?
Yeah.
And now the world record's 2:05 now, 2:05.9. I think it is now. The Australian. Scary. I think short course, is it sub 2 minutes now? Maybe 1:59. It's crazy to think for a 200 breaststroke to go sub 2 minutes.
Senan Harvey's up in lane number 8. He's gone up very quickly. 16-year-old from Mallow. 154.41 at this point for him. Yeah, he's got out like an express train in the outside lane.
Yeah, if he can keep this pace up, it's going to look like it's going to be a massive PB there for Senan Harvey of Mallow Swans. Only 16 years old as well, so.
Yeah, it looks like he likes to race.
Out in the zone up there in lane 8. PB.
Once he got an entry time at 2:44.10. You're well inside that now. Well, 2:35.3. Come on, Senan. He'll be well happy with that. But 8.5 seconds quicker than he's done before.
Yeah, he really just went for it there, Senan. I'm guessing because 6 heats of it here, so taking in from an outside lane, probably maybe just assumed he wasn't going to make an A, B or C final this evening with the amount of the entries into this, so really took it out strong, and 2:35.30, absolutely incredible PB.
It's all juniors now in this, the second of our heats of 6. It was all juniors in that previous one as well. Ben Glover in lane 4 is the fastest entry time at 2:38.05. Away they go then for heat 2 of the 200 breaststroke for men.
All these juniors just looking for a bit of experience, you know, bringing their times down. It'll be the last time they'll race short course, you know, until next sort of probably September, October time. So, you know, I always found it was a great way to finish the year, short course, set you up for the long course season. So take a PB into the new year is always fantastic. So great to see that throughout this championships. There's been so many best times, especially across the juniors.
Ryan McDowell leads them at the first split of Bangor, the 15-year-olds. Blue cap there, just 3 in. Continues to lead on this, the second leg.
Yeah, like David was saying, it's always an exciting time, this short course nationals. It's kind of their last short course season, and then getting maybe a week, maybe a couple of days off over Christmas time. So really just getting as much, getting some good racing in here. Like we've seen loads of PBs, and then transferring over, cause starting the new year fresh, getting into that long course season. So it's a nice way for them to all finish off 2022.
Yeah, those from Ireland sent a group of swimmers to the US Open meet in North Carolina in November. That was long course, so of course the short course season's fun and important, but all eyes are always on long course. So a lot of those swimmers swimming long course in November, very difficult, not used to it, and then coming into this meet short course, you know, the pool seems so short.
Last 50 then in this second heat. Ryan McDowell in 2, Jack Delaney in 3 from Claire Morris, Bangor, Claire Morris respectively. Battling it out for personal honours here and trying to go sub their personal best times in this, the second heat of 6. You can hear Andrew Bree in the background, their announcer saying stroke for stroke. It's not far wrong. Just a little lead now for lane 3 as they head down the last 25. 5 metres to swim, and you see that red mark. And a long glide to the finish for Jack Delaney, who wins in 2:35.19, just slightly quicker than Senan Harvey's winning time in the previous heat.
Yeah, PB's there again. 3 seconds for each of them. Disqualification there in lane 7. Tag Walsh, Temple Oak.
Two disqualifications in that last heat.
Oh, 2, yeah.
Cahill O'Brien, New Ross.
I assume that would have been for one-handed touches on the turns. Or sometimes on breaststroke you see it get disqualified for the
Dolphin kick off the wall.
Yeah, or corkscrew kick on the
Midway point then, this is heat 3 of 6. Lane 1 absent.
We've also got lane 5 absent there as well. David Lennon, 17 from Shark Swimming Club. So just got the 8 swimmers in this heat.
There's also missing a swimmer from lane 5. Well, it matters not. It's all about time in swimming. The faster you go, the better chance you have of getting into our CB or A finals later on this evening. 5 o'clock start for those. Ewan Fain of Dolphin, the 18-year-old, leads them at the 50.
See that you're allowed 1 dolphin kick on your underwater pull-out. So as you pull down in the underwater pull-out, you're allowed 1 dolphin kick. If you do any more than that, when the referee sees you, you'll get disqualified.
Jake Sweeney's come into the picture now in the green cap. You can see him in the lane closest to us, lane 0, and he leads at the 100. 1:11.23 for him. Those in the inside lanes who start battling against each other probably won't see him on the outside lane. And he's going for home a long way out. Three more heats to bring him after this. But Sweeney, the outside smoker on the left-hand side of your screen there, still has this lead. The thing is, can he hang on over the last 50?
He's put himself in a great position.
He has. He's kept a very high stroke rate from the start, though, so this last 50 is probably going to hurt a little bit, but he seems to be holding on really strong. Stroke rate is still nice and high. Good glide off every stroke.
Well, he's had a race plan, he's stuck to it. He hunted the swimmers down in the middle lanes by the halfway mark, and now he's kept that lead. And it is lane 0 who's going to go on here and take the victory in this third heat. Jake Sweeney, but again, it's about this time. He's entered on a 2:37.8. He's got a well inside that. Lane 2 coming through strongly as well in the end. Zach Moyle. But Sweeney holds on. Died a little on the last 25. Little pump in the air. He's now gone under his personal best time by some 5 seconds.
Yeah, looks really happy with that swim. 2:32.09. Looked like he was going for the 100 time because he really smacked that wall coming into that first 100. I thought he was going to turn and just slow it down, to be honest, but he kept that stroke rate up, kept it going for that last 100. Last 25 definitely did look a little bit tired, looked a little bit sore, but stayed strong right to the end and 2:32. So yeah, 5-second PB.
Start moving in now to some of the fastest swimmers as we get into the seeded heats. Mentioned the Olympian Derek Green's coming up very shortly. He's in the penultimate heat in lane 4. And we got Owen Corby, Matt Hand as well. Corby and Green, you'd be thinking be battling for the medals, but Corby has good speed. We saw it this morning as well. And Tara Green is obviously a 100 specialist, so favourites tag probably lying at the moment on Corby's shoulders. But this is heat 4 of 6, and we're at the 50-metre mark, up in lane 6. It's Cian George of Dolphin leads at the first split.
Yeah, Mick McCormick doing a great job with Court Dolphins. Looking really smooth.
Brian McGinley there on his shoulder. If you watch his underwater, he's really coming up past that kind of 10-metre mark, so strong off every wall.
Yeah. Really good, 16 years old.
McGinley, George, Logan. A good story coming out of the World Championships this morning in Melbourne. 50 back final. It was a second bleep at the start that it signaled the competitors to stop, but 5 of them swam the full 50 back. Isaac Cooper beat Ryan Murphy, and World Aquatics then decided that they were going to do a runoff again later in the session, and lo and behold, Murphy beat Cooper.
Oh wow.
Wow.
There was 2 beeps running off from the start.
Yeah.
And only 5
one
of them
beep,
went.
and 5 went off and finished the race. So that did a re-swim, and Murphy then took the win.
Oh wow.
Wow.
You don't usually see that kind of mess up, do you? At the world level?
No, not normally, no.
They had that once here years ago in the 100 freestyle final. 2 beeps went off and half us went and half us didn't. And we had to swim it all again. But me being me, I was wrecked from the first one.
I remember that. I was just about to ask that was you, yeah.
In 2.
See what time he can post here now.
McGinley.
Lane 2. 2:30. Quickest time so far.
Yeah, great swim there by Ryan McGinley taking it out in 1:11 and coming back on that 1:19. So like Dave was talking about earlier, I feel like he's got a little bit more in the tank there to bring it back faster if he does get that final swim this evening.
McGinley, Ren, Logan. 1, 2, 3. Next 2 heats though should give us an indication of who's going to be battling for the gold, silver and bronze a little later today in the final session, which starts at 5 o'clock. So we have Dara Green, the Olympian going in lane 4 here. Ben Nocton alongside him. And Liam O'Connor in lane number 5. But on entry time, 2:11.76. Green is quite some distance ahead of the rest of the pack here. Oisin Cook holds the Irish record. This time last year, swam at 2:06.8.
He's not competing here.
No.
I think Dara here will be just looking to get through to the final. Similar to yesterday on the 100. Dara's best time on this short course will be not too much slower than the Irish record.
Liam O'Connor at the 50, Green's in second. Look at the length of the stroke at the front too. Long glides into the wall. Green made up a bit of distance on that 25.
You see the step up here from this heat and the next heat. The glides, lane 5. That's Liam O'Connor, really nice glide, holding that glide as long as he can. It's all about efficiency.
Yeah, through in a 106 there, Green. It just nicked the lead ahead of O'Connor.
Oh yeah, what? So just set up the stroke for later on tonight. You know, Dara was talking to him yesterday. He said, you know, he was away at altitude in Arizona in October, and then he was away back to America again in November to race. And he's going back to altitude again in January, so a hectic schedule for him. So, all about experience here racing. Coming into his own now.
Coming on to that final turn there, really looking like he's picking up that stroke rate. Looking really strong, felt really comfortable, I'm guessing, on that first 100. Underwater is still absolutely incredible, and he's going to come up now and just ease into the wall.
There's a good battle between these two down the last 25. Green's just increased the stroke rate there, you can see, and should have enough to win, and takes it. Good battle between himself and O'Connor, just kept him honest at the 2:14. Green is capable of much quicker than that. O'Connor would be happy enough to be alongside the Olympian. Lane 6 took third.
Yeah, great racing against the senior there, Dara. So great swim there from Liam O'Connor. With them safely through.
We're going to see Owen Corby now in the fastest heat, fastest seeded heat indeed. He goes in lane 4.
Matthew Hand as well in lane 3, having a great meet.
There's your lineup. Corby in 4, Hand in 3, Feenan in 5. This is the pool that will host the European Under-23 Championships, the inaugural Under-23 Championships, European-wise, in August of next year. The announcement made this morning by Swim Ireland and Len. 4-day meet, August 10th to 13th. It'll be a 50-metre pool, so they'll take out the booms at either end, give us a 50-metre pool for that event. And obviously some of the world's or European elites here swimming with the Irish swimmers in August of next year. Corby has the 50-metre lead, sub 30-second swim in the first lap, 29.71, Feenan and then Hand.
Such a high body position from Corby, you can almost see his whole back out of the water. He's so, on that glide, he's so high up. He's so streamlined. Great swim yesterday on the 100, you know, he's really coming into form again, which is great to see.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking out a little bit harder than Dara Green from that previous heat. Coming in on that first 100 turn, turning on a 103 flat. But again, like David said, just looking really strong, coming up nice and high, diving into every stroke, bringing that head in between the two arms and getting into that streamline position.
Andy Feenan going as well beside him, the National Centre Limerick swimmer. Got a big beard there, he needs to get rid of that.
You're not a fan of the facial hair, David?
Losing time. Losing time. Maybe he'll shave it for tonight. In the last 50, it's Corby and Feenan.
There's a good battle between these two. Feenan obviously anxious to keep in touch with Corby. Now this last 50.
Really strong, isn't he? He'll be around around sort of 2:13-ish probably. Faster actually, maybe like around 2:10.
Yeah, he's dragging Feenan along with him, really, isn't he? And Feenan would be well happy with this swim. Keeping close to Corby like that. Corby wins it 2:11. 2:13 you said. That was a good swim, 2:11 for the morning.
Sub 2:10 in him tonight, definitely.
Yeah, Feenan in second place in hand, a distant third, but rather like the previous race between Green and O'Connor. That one also very close between the front two. It just takes two to make a race.
Yeah, always. Expecting to race that 200 tonight like he did his 100 last night. Just take it out fast and see if the others can hang with him. Doubled up yesterday, didn't he, on the 100 breast and 100 medley, so just for one event today.
So that's just done and dusted for the individual events. Corby will be the fastest qualifier into tonight's A final. Going to wrap up the morning session now. It's been a long session, nearly 3 hours. With the mixed 200-meter medley relays. Again, these are timed finals. So with the two heats, the fastest from the two will take away the title, gold medal, or if it's one of the visiting clubs, they'll get commemorative medals. So they all gather now at the top of the pool for these two races.
The officials have to be quick here to get rid of the wedge. The backstroke starting wedge. So you see them jump into action here to get rid of it as soon as the swimmers take off. Notice lanes 3 and 4 going with females instead of males in the first leg, so expected to be a big split, and then it's sort of even up towards the end of the race.
Yeah, the point here is that this is a medley, so all 4 strokes involved here. They're going to start with a backstroke. Hamilton in 1, Titans in 2, Limerick in 3, Roisin Ní Rian going for Limerick, they'll be a Paralympian, Cookstown, Dolphin, Splashworth Sharks, Temple Oak, and the second of the Hamilton Aquatics Dubai team are out in lane number 8. Dubai lead in lane 1. That was Nicholas Rutherford in for them. But this is mixed, so things are going to change. Men and women. Hamilton got the call early on. And it's Jade Kershaw in for them, nearest the camera in lane number 1.
We actually have Callum Bain coming on the fly leg for Cookstown in lane 4, so you know they're out of shot and way back. We watch him eat up the water.
It's different to the tactics that we were talking about earlier in the 4x mixed freestyle relay. You usually send the 2 females off first, but like you said, it can completely change throughout this race. It's usually just whoever's got the strongest stroke on each is going to go into the water.
The way ahead, they've gone with male, female. Should have enough in hand to win this opening heat. Lane 0. Last in for Hamilton is Nia Lagarda. But she's been given quite a considerable lead by the previous swimmer there, Ethan Thompson. It's on the freestyle now as the last leg. Way ahead of the rest, they're going to win easy. Lane 3, Limerick. Dermot Sutton. Finishing strongly, they went female, male.
1:49.11 for Hamilton, the time to beat. Obviously Limerick are the top Irish club so far, 1:51.34. So all the swimmers in the next heat will know. 1:49.1 to beat.
We were at the Europeans earlier on this year, and with a big disappointment with the mixed relays over there from our point of view, is they just stuck to the tried and true and tested, and they went male, female, male, female, or vice versa. But sadly we didn't get that mix up between the males and the females, or a mix between the males and the females where things could change quite radically, but it didn't actually in Rome. I think it should be obligatory to mix it up.
Oh, to mix, yeah, to make it interesting.
Yeah, but instead of making just male, male, female,
Yeah,
female.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so.
I suppose on the medley you've got to work with your best swimmers. So if you've got a phenomenal swimmer like trying to think Mona McSharry on the breaststroke, you got to put her on the breast, don't you?
Yeah, it's just about finding that right combination, I guess, between your four swimmers. There's no point in sticking to any sort of tactic, I guess, in the 4x50 medley. It's literally just finding out what's the best combination between your four best different individual swims.
All right, this is the last race of the morning for us. This is the mixed 200 medley relay. Hamilton Aquatics won the first heat from lane 1. It's Belfast in 0, New Ross in 1, Sundays Well in 2, and Nova Centurion, the local NAC club, in 4, with Matthew Walsh Hussey in the water for them. Larne in 5, Danielle Hill, the Olympian, busy programme for her, opening for Larne. Then it's Ards, Terranure, Dolphin and Larne across the pool. Things will change radically here. We got males and females in the water, and a good start, lane 4 for the local club, the NAC.
Danielle Hill let out Lauren there. Morgan Berryman in the water for them now, taking over. Really interesting, as John said, the difference of tactics, males, females, swimming against each other. So Lauren taking the lead.
Now you can see NSC had a decent lead, but they handed it over to Beth Gardner, and Oshin Tebet is in the water for them, so he should come back. The white cap in the centre lane, because he's got two female swimmers alongside him from Nova Centurion and Larne. Here he comes. NSC take the lead again. But they have in lane 5, just above them, Larne Swimming Club and Thomas Leggett. And Leggett should win this now.
Yeah.
Turns at the top of the pool, gets ahead.
Although they have 4 swimmer, Aaron Reardon's hanging with him. He's done great. Can she hang on here?
Oh, well, look at lane 3 coming down like an express train. Lane 3, good call, that one.
Yeah,
Nova
faster
Centurion.
than the last heat, aren't they?
They were, yeah.
Faster
Big
than all
split
3.
difference there. Look at 22 point. Anyway, it's the NAC who win that. Or finish, sorry, in second place. Lauren, who took the win in the end, because Leggett went in against 2 female swimmers, and that's how he won it. Aaron Reardon in second there, and Nova Centurion came down. Tom Truman, like a rocket. Anyway, that's it for this morning. Hope you've enjoyed the session. We have some medal ceremonies to bring in, and we'll be back a little later on. Thanks.
So 200 freestyle relay, looking for the team from Larne, Hamilton Aquatics, Ards and Limerick, and 200 medley relay, Larne, NAC, Nova Centurion and Ards, please. Just a reminder, we do need the 200 freestyle relay team from Larne, Hamilton, Ards and Limerick, and the 200 medley relay, Larne, NAC, Nova Centurion, Ards. Medals today to be presented by our Olympian Finn McGeever, training in National Centre, Limerick. Thank you, Finn. Okay, so presenting medals today for our mixed 200 freestyle relay. Medals presented by Olympian Finn McGeever, and this is going to be complicated because he's also going to present himself a medal. In bronze medal position, the team from Limerick. And Patricia Cleary is going to present a medal to Finn. That's our bronze medal winning team, 200 freestyle relay. The team from Limerick. And our silver medalist today in the 200 freestyle relay, the team from Ards. Congratulations. Thanks very much to Finn McGee for taking time out to present these medals. And we're now presenting a commemorative medal to the team from Hamilton Aquatics. And our champions in 200 mixed freestyle relay, 2022 Irish Winter Championships, the team from Larne. Again, thanks very much to Olympian Finn McGee for presenting medals today. And we're now going to present medals to our mixed 200 medley relay teams. So we need the team from Ards, the team from Nova Centurion, NAC, and also Larne. Okay, so these are the medals for our mixed 200 medley relay presented by Olympian Finn McGee. In third place was the team from Ards. Congratulations. And a commemorative medal is presented also to our team from Nova Centurion, our visiting team over from the UK. That's our team from Nova Centurion visiting from Nottingham over in England. Now, a silver medal is presented again by Olympian Finn team from NAC. Congratulations, guys. And now Finn will present the gold medal, 2022 Championships Mixed 200 Medley Relay to our team from Larne. Thanks very much to all of our swimmers. Thanks very much to Patricia Cleary, presenting medals, and to Finn McGee. And I'm sure everyone now will be heading back for lunch.